After a tough opening start for COC, back-to-back wins in back-to-back weeks, including a nice 24-14 win over Santa Barbara a week ago, now the Cougars come back home here at Cougar Stadium to take on a local rival in Antelope Valley, trying to make it 3 straight wins. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Robinson. Happy to have you along with us, alongside the Director of Public Relations and Sports Information, Jesse Munoz, as we are ready to go in homecoming week here, Jesse. COC and Antelope Valley should be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this one. A lot of preparation, a lot of excitement in the stands tonight. We got a full house, some extras here for us at halftime. This should be a good one, Matt. Like you said, a couple of geographic rivals here. A lot of familiar ties, familiar opponents on both sides of the ball. This should be a good one.
For the Cougars, they had a pretty good week offensively last week. Like we said, 24-14 last week. Emery Floyd played every snap at QB in week number 4, had 225 yards passing, and was the athlete of the week for COC.
Yeah, Emery Floyd did a tremendous job. You know, we had seen flashes of it through the first 3 weeks of the season, but I think really took over the job, as it were, last week. Played, like you said, every snap, led a couple scoring drives, kept the Cougars in that ball game throughout, and so it'll be interesting to see how things play out the rest of the way. But Emery Floyd, like you said, athlete of the week, definitely earning some accolades out there.
The defense last week, pretty good as well. 8 points or less in every second half so far this season. Only allowed 14 points last year. Looked really good against the Santa Barbara team, their first year in the National League, so not really expecting much out of Santa Barbara moving up, but still a good performance defensively for COC.
Yeah, I feel like the same old story for College of the Canyons. This defensive unit has been tremendous, playing with their backs against the wall oftentimes, keeping the Cougars in the game with key turnovers, key stops, getting off the field when they need to. A lot of dudes out there. I think we're going to call some names later on, so that'll be fun to talk about.
On the other side for Antelope Valley, Perry Jalika, the head coach in his 17th year, coming in back-to-back losses to Saddleback and Bakersfield, their first year in the National League as well, and have kind of had a struggle this year in a 2-game losing streak. Have not lost 3 straight since 2014, when they lost 5 straight to open their league season. So trying to bounce back, find a win here on the road against a tough COC team.
Yeah, you know, and that's a tough jump. The National Northern League is no joke. Year in and year out, every week it's going to be a battle. So I think Antelope Valley probably just coming to terms with that a little bit. Some new opponents, but like I said, again, some familiar faces. This is a team that has traditionally played College of the Canyons in their regular rotation. Met last year. Cougars were fortunate to come away with a win. So you know that that's still in the back of the Marauders' mind when they come into town here tonight.
And Antelope Valley, the 10th most penalized team in the 3C2A this year, so that's been a struggle for them. They've been held under 225 yards passing in all of their losses so far this year, so they're really going to need to get Sharman Rester III, their quarterback, going, who's actually had a pretty good year when you look at the numbers. 62 completions, 816 yards on 134 attempts. The problem is the turnovers. 4 interceptions so far this year, just 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, and every coach will tell you, you've got to play disciplined, mistake-free football, and for the Marauders just haven't come together, so to speak. You know, Cougars have faced their own struggles in that department. Yep. Something that they have at times been able to bounce back from. At times it has cost them ball games. So again, both teams here heading into the Week 5 bye next week, or excuse me, the Week 6 bye next week. You really want to come out here and play your best game, get out here with a victory.
Touching on the turnovers from COC, last week was actually the first week this season where they did not turn the ball over, and you see the result at 24-14. So you'd look to see them more the same from Ted Iasenda's squad as they go back to it. We expect Emery Floyd to be the starting quarterback today again. We expect the backs to be deep as they usually are this year. We will have Malik Brooks in the lineup. Donovan Dunn has had a good game. Robin Virginelli is actually one of the only 2 or 3 Cougars with a rushing touchdown this year. Had one last week against Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it was exciting last week to see, you know, Robin and a couple of those guys get some extra totes out there. Again, we talk about it week in and week out. This is a talented ball team. A lot of options on both sides of the ball. So sometimes it's just a matter of patience, working hard, keeping your head in the game, and waiting for your opportunity. We've seen that from the quarterbacks and now from the running back department. They are raring to go, Matt, as soon as their name is called.
We'll step aside for right now. We'll have the coin toss, the opening kick here when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network. COC Antelope Valley homecoming week.
Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice your sub is the coolest thing you'll see. And the second coolest thing you'll see is this.
Woo! Here we go. Twirl. Up, dip, through. Hand down. One hand. Up. No. Flip. I could eat. Sliced right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
At College of the Canyons, we're always here to help make your future remarkable. Choosing classes is always flexible, so you can study your way. Learn at one of our 2 state-of-the-art campuses, or from home with our online options. Tuition is always affordable, with classes starting at just $46 per unit. We offer financial aid and 0 textbook cost classes to help you save. Always flexible, affordable, remarkable. Always College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule now. College of the Canyons football on the Cougar Sports Network is presented by Jersey Mike's. Try one of our authentic, fresh sliced and fresh grilled subs, always made to order. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. UCLA Health, delivering leading edge patient care, research, and education. Chick-fil-A, we may be in the restaurant business, but really, we're about serving people. It's the little things. If you have a business and want to support COC Athletics, please contact the athletic department at 661-362-3491. Go Cougs!
I can't get enough of watching Jersey Mike's freshly grilled hot subs right in front of me. In fact, I like watching nice and close. Oh, yeah.
The eyes just moved.
It's just the steam from the grill. You're seeing things.
Look at that sizzle.
Did you hear that?
Relax, it's just the grill.
Yeah, it's just the grill.
Woo! Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above. Every time you order a hot sub from Jersey Mike's, it's grilled fresh right in front of you. The sizzling, the chopping, the spatula. That's why I bring this. I call it dinner and a show. Look at that sizzle.
Number 17 for Danny.
Oh, that's mine. Gotta go, Aaron.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Welcome back into the Cougar Sports Network. Matt Robinson alongside Jesse Munoz as we are ready to go. Homecoming week, COC and Antelope Valley. Pretty good national anthem to get us fired up here on Homecoming week, although I hit the over on it, Jesse.
Hey, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. Cougar Stadium, under the lights, live singer. We got some special cheer squads here. We got some youth football welcoming the Cougars to town. This is going to be a great night, ladies and gentlemen.
Cougars won the toss, deferred their option to the second half, so Antelope Valley will take the football to start here in the first quarter, in the first half of the game here at Homecoming week. Just the second game of the National League for Antelope Valley. The Cougars, a National League stalwart, trying to get back to a National League title once again. As the Northern Division or the Northern League. Sorry, I'm saying National League. I mean Northern League.
You're close. National Division, Northern League.
It's too many N's, and it's just a lot. It's just throwing me off today. Between that and the Western State Conference, I have trouble. So here we go, getting ready to go. It'll be Asa Johnson to kick things off for COC. Standing back to receive for Antelope Valley. A couple of bodies standing back at the 5-yard line. One of them looks like TJ Graham, and on the far side of the field is Tajin Brown. As we wait for, it's Tony Johnson to kick things off for COC. As Johnson's kick, a low line drive, wobbling one, going to be taken at the 10-yard line. Dropped out of bounds by TJ Graham, so the Cougars get a bit of a break as Graham couldn't handle that one cleanly, and Antelope Valley will start on their own 12-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Antelope Valley, but College of the Canyons, you see them running out on the field ready to go. Matt, I'm excited to see what this defensive unit can come out and do. Set the tone here and get the Cougars off on the right foot.
Sharman Rester, the quarterback for Antelope Valley out of El Dorado High School in Arkansas, was 62 for 134 so far in the year with 816 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. As he will start in the backfield with the lone back to his right in Caleb Gardner, who has been the feature back for Antelope Valley pretty much all year long. And it's just waiting on everybody to get set, and we'll get ready to go. Antelope Valley taking their time, only 7 seconds on the play clock already, as now they're set to go. Rester will take the snap. He'll give his right to Gardner, who's right up the middle and wrapped down by Jackson Volk along with Del Monte Barnes, bringing him down for second down.
Well, first snap and first call of Jackson Volk's name. He was another one of those guys. A couple weeks back was the CSE Student Athlete of the Week. This is a young man that's just been all over the field through the first 4 weeks of play and getting right after it again here tonight.
Give it a gain of 4 for Caleb Gardner, who's out of St. Genevieve High School, Palmdale, California native. 53 attempts, 182 yards coming into the game today. As he's been their feature back for the whole year, he's pretty much the only back that's had any carries. As Rester going to be flushed out of the pocket, trying to scramble, still on his feet, and he's going to be hit and finally brought down, but not after gaining a yard. Really good work by Rester just to get a yard forward, as there was a number of Cougars chasing him down.
Yeah, it looked like he was doing some sort of cone drill, shuffle drill, just going around in circles, but that was Joseph Marsh that eventually got to him with the 1-yard gain. So here we go, third down, and the Cougars still getting after it.
Third down, about half the chains here for Antelope Valley. They need to get out to their own 22-yard line for a first down. As Rester, looking at the sidelines, has 2 receivers out to each side, with Gardner in the backfield to his left. Cougars showing a 4-man front. Rester will throws to his left, has a man. Pass was caught on the far side by Darrell Lloyd, who's able to hold on to it, and it's a first down for Antelope Valley out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Mr. Varner right there to meet him. Great job by the Marauders being able to stay on the field, prolong that a little bit, just enough space. Like we said, Varner was there to meet him, but just not in time.
Lloyd has been Rester's favorite target so far this year, 19 catches for 331 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season. As the back in the backfield behind Rester this time, a give to Avion Rankin, who's a wide receiver but has also had some carries so far this year, and he picks up maybe a half a yard or yard. We'll see.
And then that time it was Carlos Meza out of Golden Valley coming over to make the stop. Again, I feel like we're calling some of the familiar names of this Cougar front. It's good to see them all getting in there and getting active early.
Mesa this year, 21 tackles, is tied for the team lead in tackles coming to the game. 17 of those have been solo tackles. That's 29th most in the state of California, so you can add one more to those numbers. He's got 22 now on the year as Rester in the shotgun. Will take the direct snap, looking to his right the whole way, dumps it off underneath, and he's just looking at Darrell Lloyd, who, like we said, is his main target so this year. Can't connect, and it'll bring third down and 10 here for Antelope Valley. Good job by the Cougars in coverage that time to make sure that Lloyd could not get free. Didn't really give Rester a chance to try and check down and find a different receiver.
And so you've let the Marauders already extend this one. It's important for College of the Canyons to get off the field here. Let's get this home crowd a chance to see the offense.
Some late changes for AVC as they wait as Omar Lopez runs out of the field. He'll be the receiver on the near side. Staying in the backfield with Rester is Caleb Gardner. Rester takes the direct snap, looking to his right, dumps it off on a screen pass underneath. Good tackle that time. Coming around to just nip the toes was Kano Mahundro, and he brings him down after a gain of 4.
You know, a small window there. The quarterback got it in there on the screen, but Omahundro, another one of those dudes flying around, makes the tackle, and it's exactly what the College of the Canyons Cougars needed. Get off the field, let's let Emery Floyd and company come out and see what's doing.
Gavin Rowall is the punter for Antelope Valley as he'll stand back at his own 15-yard line. 21 punts for 691 yards. His long has been 55. He's pinned the opposition inside the 24 times, but this is not a good punt. It bounces at the 50-yard line, takes an Antelope Valley roll, and goes out at the Cougar 47. So COC with great field position for their first drive of the ball game.
Oh, that's a nice stop. A nice starting point for College of the Canyons. One of those little special team blunders that you hope doesn't come back to bite you if you're Antelope Valley. College of the Canyons raring to go on the sidelines. Final huddles before they take the field.
So we're likely to see Emery Floyd as a starter. Last week, 12 for 20, 25 yards and a touchdown. Had 12 carries as well for 73 yards and a touchdown. He's up among the state leaders in touchdowns on the ground this year with 5, as he has been impressive over the last few weeks. Didn't turn the ball over last week, which is a huge key for COC, as it's been kind of a struggle so far this year on the offensive side.
I think most interesting part about last week, Emery Floyd actually aired it out a little bit, found some rhythm in that department.
They send Brown. Brown well behind the line. It's going to be a double pass here. Brown throwing downfield, has a man, caught at the 10, stumbling and falling down to the 2-yard line on a beautiful throw from Malik Brooks, and it's a pass completed to Travis Royal.
Travis Royal just barely missed the end zone, was a few steps short before he went down. And if College of the Canyons, that's the way to start things off. Get them going with a trick play, catch them by surprise, and now you're knocking on the end zone.
So a beautiful throw from Malik Brooks after the pass back to him from Floyd. And the Cougars are in the red zone at the 1-yard line. First and goal, knocking on the door. Sending in some late bodies here is running onto the field late for COC. Was one of the defensive players that comes in on that jumbo package, I believe, for the Cougars. And I thought it was Jackson Forte running out, but I thought he was inactive today. Maybe not. As the Cougars going to run, it's right up the middle, waiting for a signal from the officials. And the near side official says touchdown, COC. I didn't see who got into the end zone.
That's Robin Virginelli.
There you go.
In there with his second score in as many weeks, just took the short plunge behind those big bodies up front. And like you said, Matt, the jumbo package throwing another look out there for the Marauders. And College of the Canyons is on the board for the first time tonight.
Took all of 2 plays for COC. It's a 2-play, 53-yard drive for the Cougars as they're in for 6 as Virginelli hits pay dirt. And we wait on the extra point from Asa Johnson. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights. So 7-0 COC. A 53-yard, 2-play drive for COC, capped off by Robin Virginelli, 1-yard touchdown rush. And the Cougars with a 7-0 lead.
And, Matt, I don't think it really gets any better than that in terms of how you want to start a ball game. You send your defense out there. They're flying around making plays. You get off the field with, relative no damage done. You take advantage of the special teams mishap, and boom, right out of the gate, you're airing it out going down the field.
You're airing it out going down the field with your running back airing it out going down the field, already pulling out the bag of tricks on the first play of the ball game, and it worked to perfection.
Sometimes homecoming crowd, you got to pull out those little wrinkles and show them everything you got, and if that doesn't get this crowd excited, hey, let's line up and do it again.
I think Travis Royal going to be upset he didn't get into the end zone. I think Malik Brooks might be more upset on a beautiful throw from Brooks that Royal was able to call in and fall down on the one, and Virginelli took care of the rest of it. So Cougars will kick it off once again. Tony Johnson to drive it away. This one a little bit better of a kick this time. Going to be taken right at the 1-yard line by Tajin Brown. He'll bring it out to his left. Gets through a wall of Cougars as he falls forward to the 25-yard line. We'll spot him at the 26, and it'll be Antelope Valley ball to start their second drive of the ball game, trailing 7-0.
Again, a nice special teams coverage. Just a lot of guys getting downfield. And, again, if you're Travis Royal, that's one of those ones on Monday morning. He's going to get some pats on the back and some elbows. But, hey, why didn't you get in? But still a tremendous play and a nice job setting up his team.
So we'll go 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line for AVC. It'll be Rester in the backfield. There's a couple of backs back there with him. We'll pitch out to the left as they'll give it to Rankin. And he's pulled down after a gain of maybe a yard, as it looked like Joseph Marsh got him from behind.
Yeah, Joseph Marsh flying around all over there. Nice job just kind of stringing it out down the line, letting your guys catch up to him.
So it's not a gain for Antelope Valley on that one. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. So we'll go 2nd down and 10. As Gardner stands in the backfield this time next to Resters. They have 3 receivers out to the near side. Wide man on the near side is Rico Becerra. Lone man on the far side is Darrell Lloyd. Rester to throw, looking to his left. In and out of the hands to Rico Becerra, who just did not hold on to it, and maybe lucky it didn't get intercepted as it went right through a bunch of other bodies.
Yeah, I think he might have just been a tad late looking up. Looked like the ball kind of snuck up on him. And like you said, right through that window. And so here we go again, Matt. 3rd down. Cougars with the advantage are going to be able to send some guys if they choose to.
Just showing a 3-man front here as we wait for Antelope Valley to get set up. Plenty of time on the play clock, though, here for the Marauders as they look to the sidelines. Perry Jalenka, the head coach, also works as the offensive coordinator for Antelope Valley. As Rester stands in the backfield waiting, pointing out the coverage. 3-man pressure looks like it's coming from COC. As he takes the snap, looking to his left. Now has to scramble as he buys some time. Got to be pushed out of bounds by Carlos Mesa, a yard short of the 1st down. He needed the 36. He got the 35, a 9-yard carry. It'll bring up 4th down for Antelope Valley, and we'll see if they decide to send in the punt team. They will.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to at this point. Nice job by Mesa at 55 getting over there, just saving that. And so for College of the Canyons defense, you have done your job twice now. Turn the ball over, get it back to your offense. We'll see how the special teams unit comes out here for ABC.
And that's kind of been the thing for Carlos Mesa this year, as we said, tied for the team lead in tackles coming in. He's had 5 or more tackles in every game so far this year. Just kind of flies around. As here's Rowell. This punt a little bit better than the last one. Going to bounce at the 38-yard line. Picked up by COC back at the 30, and nowhere to go that time for Travis Royal as he was trying to make something happen as the ball rolled to him. And that's actually a good play from Royal. He's down at the 25, and that keeps the ball from rolling deeper into the COC end.
Yeah, exactly. A nice heads-up play. Kind of wait for it to come to you. You don't want to rush up and have something go wrong. And like you said, no harm done. You start on the 25. And here we go. So, talked about Emory Floyd coming in. Didn't really get to see him. The drive was so short. So it'll be interesting to see if the Cougars kind of try and keep the gas on the, foot on the gas pedal and air it out again or get back into their offense.
Cougars go with that same look they started the last drive with in both Dunn and Brooks in the backfield, except for Brooks straight behind Floyd. They'll give to Dunn. Actually, no, it's a good RPO, and Brooks going to take it on the outside on a reception. He's got a 1st down and more across midfield, pushed out at about the 42-yard line. Nice little design that time to get Emory Floyd the ball in space to Malik Brooks, who's got a 1st down and more.
Yeah, that's a nice job just kind of seeing that gap, finding the seam, and getting upfield. Check out the block number 12 here. Does a tremendous job just giving Brooks enough time to get up the sideline, and the Cougars are in business again.
Travis Royal out there on the block has already had his name called a few times today, having a good start so far. 1st and 10, ball at the 41 of Antelope Valley for COC. Brooks will be the lone back to the right of Emory Floyd. 3 receivers out to the near side as Floyd takes the snap, looking right the whole way. Pass caught on the far side by Jacoby Taylor. Short of a 1st down, about a 5-yard, maybe a 6-yard gain as they get down to the 36-yard line. So we'll call it a 5-yard gain, be 2nd down and 5.
Emory Floyd finding some new receivers here this week, being able to spread the ball around a little bit here in the early going.
So 2nd and 5 as Floyd walks up to the line of scrimmage. Cougars will send 2 wide receivers out to each side this time, as Brooks stays as the lone back with Floyd. This time to his left. Floyd going to shift the pocket to his left, looking downfield, throws it downfield, and just throws it away. Good, smart decision by Emory Floyd that time just to get rid of it.
Yeah, it was. And, I like the job, kind of roll out the pocket a little bit. If you check the replay, Malik Brooks had a vicious block out there. So, again, one of these dudes out there has already made a big play. Let's come out there and see how else I can contribute.
So 3rd down and 5. Clock stopped at 8:40 here in the first quarter. 7-0 COC. They had a 2-play 53-yard drive on their first drive of the ball game. Already moving it here on their 2nd drive, but in a 3rd down and about half the chains to keep the drive alive at the 36-yard line of Antelope Valley. Taylor, the lone man to the far side. 2 backs in the backfield this time with Floyd. They'll send 1 man in motion. Floyd looking over the middle, and a crossing route nearly intercepted. Was in and out of the hands of Christopher Early, who does have an interception so far this year, but just couldn't haul that one in. and the Cougars drive stalls at the Antelope Valley 36.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was Donray Hall. He found his man, just wasn't able to reel it in there. But again, dodged the bullet in terms of the turnover. Never want to see that happen, but unfortunate for the Cougars, just starting to roll a little bit.
So Tony Johnson to punt, standing at his own 50-yard line. Standing back at about the 5-yard line for Antelope Valley. It looks like it's Tajin Brown. As the snap to Johnson, a good kick, but it's going to go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback for Antelope Valley, so they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Still 7-0 COC. 28 to go here in the first quarter. And a promising looking start to that second drive for COC, Jesse, but just could not get anything going on second and third down.
Yeah, it's a little things, a little execution there. You were starting to get your offense in rhythm. You already had the big play, so you're obviously playing with some confidence, but I think now it's time to just, okay, let's come back, let's settle down. What went wrong that last series, or not necessarily even what went wrong, what can we execute better and come back out there on the ball field ready to go.
So now if you're AVC, a good chance to try and keep yourselves right there in the ball game, trailing 7-0 on your third drive of the game after a good defensive stand. As Rester stays as the quarterback, wants to throw, looks left, and then comes back to his right. The ball's out on the ground, recovered by Antelope Valley. One of the big bodies coming up to pick it up was A.J. Watson. So the Cougars just able to punch it out.
Yeah, and you're going to see on the replay, College of the Canyons kind of sniffs this out. You see the pursuit stop. And then just one of those loose balls. Who was it that got his head on it? That looked like number 40. I couldn't see it.
I think it might have been Jared Alameo. I think it was 20. Can't tell. Sometimes the gray on blue gives us a little bit of trouble up here in the booth, as we'll go 2nd down and 4 for Antelope Valley from their own 26-yard line, as it was a 6-yard gain on the catch and fumble. Rester will give this time. Right up the middle is Gardner, and he's got enough for a first down across the 35. Brought down at the 36-yard line. First man in was Mil Mafu.
Yeah, exactly. Number 6 in there. Another one of those guys that flies around among the team leaders last week in tackles. Right back at it again.
Yeah, Mafu, 2 solo tackles in each of the last 3 games. Has at least 3 tackles in every game so far this year. 15 total on the year coming into the game today. Also has a fumble let me look at my notes again. Fumble recovery. So he's another guy that flies around everywhere. Cougars nearly had Rester and lost him. Now he's going to have a chance to throw it downfield, and does. Pass is complete to the tight end, Guizo, and he's got enough for a first down out to the 47-yard line.
Well, how he got out of that, I'll never know, because there was 2 Cougars right in the area.
Marsh was the first.
Yeah, Marsh was there, but he just kind of spins out. That's a nice job getting downfield, getting rid of the ball, and picking up a new set of downs.
So 1st and 10, ball right about the midfield stripe. It's at the 47-yard line of Antelope Valley, as they've got a fresh set of downs after a good escape by Rester, who we said has had a decent year. He's turned the ball over a little bit too many times, but 816 yards coming into today. And it's a heavy passing attack from Antelope Valley this year. When you look at the numbers, they average 204 yards per game through the air. I know that's not a huge number, but compared to just 100 on the ground, it's really a pass-heavy offense, as this run doesn't go much of anywhere for Olivion Rankins. And it'll be 2nd down and 11 as a loss of yard.
Yeah, a big group of bodies there to stop that. I think number 46, Delmonte Barnes, was the first in there on the tackle.
Barnes, another guy that has his name called quite a bit. Had a pass breakup against Santa Barbara last week. 4 tackles as well in both the Santa Barbara and the Fullerton game. He's got 13 on the year, make it 14 now. It'll be 2nd down and 11 here for Antelope Valley at the minus 46. Rester going to run this time, and he's got plenty of room right up the middle. Slides down at about the 40-yard line. Plenty for a first down. They'll spot him at the 39. A nice 13-yard run for Rester, and it's a first down for Antelope Valley.
Yeah, good recognition there. You saw the pursuit on the corners come up. Everyone else was in pass coverage. Middle of the field was wide open, and he just took it.
So 1st and 10, and the Marauders moving the ball. They're at the Cougar 39-yard line. Solid drive so far for Antelope Valley. 4 plays, make it 5 plays, 51 yards. Scratch that, 41 yards. I can't read properly, apparently, as we go on 1st and 10. Rester to throw, has to get rid of it, looking downfield. Nobody there. There's a flag, though, right about the 25-yard line. Probably going to be a defensive holding on the COC cornerback, as it looked like just a few little too many tugs on the outside, on the near side.
Yeah, that was going to be number 41 on the on the pass interference. And I think just held him up on his route there, like you said, Matt. Got tangled up on the sideline, and you saw the receiver put his hands up like, "Hey, what do I got to do here?" Official was there to spot it.
Armonte Schneider called for the foul. It'll be an automatic first down for Antelope Valley, as they'll march the ball ahead to the 29-yard line. So the Marauders here threatening. Cougars leading 7-0 after a two-play 53-yard drive to open the game for COC. But now Antelope Valley trying to make it a fresh ball game at 7-7.
This is the point of the field where we've seen the Cougars show the ability to buckle down. Last week in the first quarter held the Vaqueros to 2 long field goal attempts. I'm sure they'd be thrilled with that same result here.
They'll give to Gardner. He runs into a pile of bodies, then got popped as coming over to lay the hit on him. I might have been Mario Kiaich, or was it Mr. Varner?
I saw Mr. Varner around there again, but Kiaich is also in on the ball on a whole heck of a lot of plays. So again, College of the Canyons looking to respond here. Backs to the wall a little bit as this Marauder team has seemingly found its rhythm, moving the ball down the field at a nice pace.
2nd down and 7. Ball spotted at the 26-yard line. They need to get to the 19. As they'll fake the handoff. Rester going to have to scramble as Kiaich was chasing him. He gets by him, gets by another man inside the 5, and he finds the end zone. Charmin Rester III just takes it himself, and the Marauders on the board with a scamper from the 27-yard line for Charmin Rester III.
Well, you can see kind of does a little loop-de-loop and then finds the extra gear and just basically outruns everybody. A couple poor angles out there, but he did his best to get in the end zone. Kind of takes the long way around, and then boom, right there, hits the extra gear, and there's nobody around him. That's a nice job by the Marauders to get back in this ballgame and on the board here.
It was Joseph Marsh in pursuit as the second man that couldn't catch up to him, so it's a 26-yard run for Rester. The extra point is up and good for Gage Butler, who's so far this year 9 of 12 on extra point tries, and we are tied at 7 with 4:34 to go here in the first quarter. Antelope Valley with a nice drive. Charmin Rester leading the way. 26-yard touchdown to tie it up.
Yeah, we got a ball game here, Matt. And, College of the Canyons, like we said, scored so quickly on their first drive. They got to feel confident. But this Antelope Valley team is going to bring something like we talked about, geographic rival. They're going to want to be in this game and doing their best right now.
So we'll see Antelope Valley kick things off for the first time today. As it'll be Gavin Rowald to kick things off. Cougars without the services of Damari Smith today, who's been their primary return man this year. So instead it'll be Travis Royal standing back there along with Don Ray Hall at about the Cougar 5-yard line. Smith is a guy that can break things at times, 170 return yards on the year, averages 24.3 yards per return. As it'll be Royal this time. He'll run immediately to his right at the 10-yard line. Now tries to cut it back, just kind of dancing around, trying to work back out to the 20. And he does a good job to get out to the 20, really, as Antelope Valley had that scouted very well.
Yeah, you saw the Cougars kind of get into their return attack. But like you said, this is something that closed up rather quickly. Royal trying to make the best of it. And he has been active out there tonight, man. I'd like to see him start to emerge a little bit. This is a young man that's been on the field quite a bit. Maybe not showing up in the stat book as much, but he's out there tonight raring to go.
So the Cougars will reset at their own 21-yard line, 1st and 10. 4:26 to go in the first quarter. Game tied at 7 after the Antelope Valley drive, which finished out on the Rester touchdown. It was an 8-play, 80-yard drive for AVC to get themselves on the board. Give to Malik Brooks nowhere to go as he's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by Antelope Valley. Coming out of the pile was Isaiah Borio on the tackle. Borio, a guy this year, 18 tackles, 4 or more in every game this year. He had 4 tackles 5 tackles last week in the loss to Bakersfield. He's been a pretty solid player in the middle of the field. The linebacker out of Lancaster, California, went to Paraclete High School. It'll be 2nd and 10 for COC. Cougars taking their time. 5 to go on the play clock here for Floyd. Needs to get the snap off and does just in time. Rolls the pocket to his left. His pass deflected, and it's an incomplete pass. Just a little too tight trying to roll that pocket that time.
Yeah, you see that the defensive front just kind of rolled with it. And what do the coaches always tell you? You can't make a play. Get one of those big old paws up there and see what happens. See if you can knock it down. That's exactly what took place.
It was Terrell Brown, the freshman out of Killeen High School, that got his hand on it.
Cougars with their backs to the wall a little bit here. Do not want to go 3 and out after surrendering the touchdown. Important to get some movement here on this next play.
4 wide here for COC. Brooks, the lone man in the backfield. Floyd to throw. Has time. Dumps it off to Brooks. Across the 25. Trying to reach out forward, and he's going to be about a yard and a half short. As they'll spot him at the 29, so 2 yards short, and the Cougars going to send the punt unit back out.
Yeah, that's just a nice job by the defensive back, Christopher Early, getting to the sideline, wrapping him up, because Brooks had his legs turning, trying to get upfield. Just wasn't doing there.
Early, the sophomore DB out of Highland High School, 23 tackles coming into the game today. Has an interception, a pass breakup, and a half a tackle for a loss. Had 3 tackles last week against Bakersfield.
Well, let's see what Johnson can do here. He has been a weapon for the Cougars on special teams.
This is a pretty good kick, end over end, taken at the 34-yard line, I should say, on a fair catch by Tajin Brown. And so Antelope Valley will take there in their own area. It's a nice punt from Johnson. 37-yard punt with no return. And so AVC will go back to work after their touchdown drive a few moments ago. Not much time off the clock that time for COC, as we are still in the first quarter, 2:55 to go. Antelope Valley with the ball in their 34 for Sharman Rester and company to go to work. Rester will take the snap. Tries to get away, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield this time. Matthias Ortiz Jr. gets to him in the backfield for a sack for Ortiz Jr., his first sack of the year. And the Cougars have pushed Antelope Valley back to their own 30-yard line.
Ortiz Jr. representing Flagstaff, Arizona, and putting his name in the stat book. And that's a nice job to kind of stymie this drive before it even gets going. Exactly what the Cougars need here.
Antelope Valley running a lot of those RPOs here early on. Play action on a lot of plays, and this time the Cougars had it sniffed out a little bit better than they did in the last drive.
Well, found some early success, and this quarterback we've seen has a second gear. If he sees an opening, he's not going to be afraid to take it. So nice job, the Cougars. They're going to have to be aware of that throughout.
As Rester stays in the shotgun. Had a tough snap, gets the pass off, and it's off the shoulder of Darrell Lloyd. Should have been a completion, but Lloyd just straight drops it, so it'll be 3rd down.
And that's a break for the Cougars. Again, middle of the field there. We've seen opponents have some success in that area of the field. Almost dialed up another one there. So Cougars here with a nice 3rd down opportunity to get some pursuit and get off the field here. Matt, still in the first quarter, can't believe it. I don't know if I'm just excited and time's moving slowly, but this has been a fun first round here.
Each team with a touchdown so far as Rester looks to the sideline. 8 on the play clock here. Still waiting on the play call to get into him. I think Antelope Valley might have to take a timeout here.
Yeah, they're certainly not rushing.
They're going to. Took just a little too long to get the play in to the quarterback this time, so it's a timeout on the field. First timeout charged to Antelope Valley. And we'll reset on 3rd and 14 after everybody talks about it.
Yeah, I think one of those things, 3rd down, you obviously need a big play, so there's probably lots of conversation going on. You want to make sure you get your personnel lined up. Just took a little bit too long there. You know, we talk about it week in and week out. A lot of emotions in this game, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of excitement. Especially these are young men that played against each other in high school, have relationships outside of the gridiron. You know, everyone coming trying to show out and show up there for their team. So it's important sometimes just take the time out, hit the pause button, make sure you do it right.
So it'll be 3rd and 14, ball in the Antelope Valley 30-yard line. They need to get to their own, was that 44 as I look down? With 2:03 to go here. And a big spot for the COC defense here, trying to get on the field, off the field before the close of the first quarter here. So we go back to work. Rester will shift the pocket to his left, trying to run. He's brought down in the backfield. Getting across to get to him that time was big number 35, Cairo Rhodes, coming across to take him down. And Antelope Valley going to be forced to punt here.
Now you're going to see on the play, or maybe not, but Colquitt kind of just maintains, sets the edge there, allows Rhodes to come flying up and make that tackle. Either way, it translates to a long fourth down. Cougars are going to get off the field here.
Well, that's a huge part to it, especially at this level that you don't see a lot, that ability to set the edge and the guys kind of stay. As this punt, a low line drive punt that's going to take a huge Antelope Valley bounce all the way back out to the COC 26, 27-yard line. So Rowell's punt turns into a good one, even though it did not get very much height on it, but it was almost like a spiral down the field. So a solid punt, and the Cougars will take over back at their own 27-yard line.
You know, maybe something to watch for later in the game. I felt like the Cougars had good pursuit on that special teams. Had some arms flying around there. We saw the punter already have some issues early on. That could become a factor if the Cougars are able to continue to get upfield on those types of plays.
So we go 1st and 10, 1:16 to go here in the first quarter. Cougars will go to work on their own 27-yard line. Floyd with two backs in the backfield this time with him. Sends Malik Brooks in motion. Gives it to Dunn, who I think just kind of took it right out of his hands. There's a flag in the backfield in the area of a hold, so this one likely going to push the Cougars back even further than just the 1-yard loss.
Yeah, a little choppy on that one. Felt like Floyd didn't get a good handle on the snap. And then the Marauders were right there to sniff that one out. We'll wait and see what the penalty is. And you're absolutely right, Matt. So that's going to back up the Cougars here. Coming up on a minute to play here in this first quarter. And I think still, you know, College of the Canyons, we talk about the big chunk play, still have not found their offensive identity, gotten into any sort of a rhythm, have tried to run the ball with limited success. Emory Floyd hasn't really had a chance to air it out yet. So, you know, this will be a nice point in the game to get it going.
So it'll push the ball back to the 17-yard line of COC. And so they'll go 1st and 20 here with Floyd in the backfield. He'll fake the give, pass caught by Noah Staples, the tight end. He gets about half the penalty damage back as he's up to the Cougars' 23-yard line. 2nd down and still about 15 here for COC.
Yeah, still a little ways to go, but you get a big part of it. And you see Floyd looking at the sideline here.
Still just trying to get down back in. We'll call it 2nd and 14. Ball at the 23-yard line. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Brooks in the backfield along with the tight end Staples. Is Floyd going to throw? Throws to Staples again. Caught and hit immediately by Christopher Early. The Cougars get back to the 26-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, just trying to find some space, get your guy out on the sideline and let him make a move for some yak, as they call it. Just wasn't there. Now College of the Canyons really going to have to force the issue here on 3rd down. We'll have to wait a few minutes for that.
As we'll take a timeout, 7-7, end of the first quarter. COC Antelope Valley here on homecoming week from Cougar Stadium.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now. At College of the Canyons, we're always here to help make your future remarkable. Choosing classes is always flexible, so you can study your way. Learn at one of our 2 state-of-the-art campuses, or from home with our online options. Tuition is always affordable, with classes starting at just $46 per unit. We offer financial aid and 0 textbook cost classes to help you save. Always flexible, affordable, remarkable. Always College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule now.
Welcome back in as we go second quarter action. Third down for COC. They need 11 to get a first down as right away Floyd looking downfield, pass caught right at the 35-yard line by Noah Staples. The tight end coming up big for COC. His third straight reception, and the Cougars have a first down.
I was going to say, looking at Noah Staples early and often on this drive, and that's a huge chunk. Got all he needed and some more. And the Cougars again across midfield. Matt, we said it again, it's been a couple big plays. Yep. Cougars have relied on that, and let's see how they follow up here if they can get into more of a rhythm. We're used to seeing them.
Staples, 1 reception for 13 yards against Santa Barbara. He's matched his season total of 3 receptions so far here today in just this drive. Floyd to throw again, looking downfield, airing it out, was looking for Donray Hall, but the pass is going to be incomplete as he was never quite able to get it to him.
Yeah, nice protection there. Floyd had enough time to kind of wind up and air that one out. Felt like Hall maybe got a little held up on his route, but officials didn't see enough to make the call there.
Tried to sell it. You saw the right hand come up in the air like, hey, I got tugged on, but didn't get the call, so we'll go second down and 10. Ball spotted at the Antelope Valley 34-yard line. It was a 40-yard completion to Noah Staples. They got the Cougars into this spot. As Floyd with Dunn in the backfield with him, will throw, looking. Now is going to move the pocket a little bit. Throws towards the end zone pass. Incomplete, looking for Travis Royal. Broken up on the far side for Antelope Valley by T.J. Graham.
Yeah, that's a nice job just getting in there and breaking up that ball. Felt like he had a step there. And then just wasn't able to haul it in there with the defensive presence in his face.
As Graham, with 4 breakups now on the year, has been pretty good in coverage for Antelope Valley this year. One of their better players in coverage. As we'll go 3rd and 10 at the 34, the Cougars stalled in the same spot a couple of drives ago. Floyd needs to get rid of it. He's going to be wrapped up but not brought down. He escapes one, escapes another, and then finally brought down. Boy, running around all over the place, and finally Christian Tucker Martin brings him down behind the line of scrimmage all the way back to the Antelope Valley 44-yard line.
I mean, you see here, Floyd, the athleticism, the power to get out some of those tackles. A little scary there with the ball out in the open. That's a nice job of the Marauders to track him down. But, again, got to do better on those key third downs like that. Floyd trying to make the best of it just wasn't enough.
Second time today the Cougars have been down inside the Antelope Valley 35-yard line and come away empty-handed, as it'll be Tony Johnson to punt things away again. This one a wobbly punt. Fair catch called at the 5-yard line and made by Tajin Brown, as that's a really good punt from Tony Johnson. We talked about him a lot a couple of weeks ago. Had a few good punts like that were angled and went out of bounds deep inside the opposition territory, and that's another good one right there.
Yeah, I think that's the most impressive thing about that young man. He's very strategic in his kicks. You saw the last punt, scampered into the end zone. He put his head up like, I should have had that one. But again, comes back out, settles in. And that's the type of thing that'll get you a 4-year look and maybe even farther. That's a tremendous weapon for the Cougars.
The officials are getting together to talk about something. I didn't see a flag on the field.
Still waiting for the call here.
We got illegal participation against the receiving team. That's a 15-yard penalty. Will result in a first down.
So it's actually a penalty on the play for illegal participation, they say, and so the punt is null and void, and the Cougars get a free first down out of it.
I'm trying to figure out what happened there on the participation.
Did they have too many players on the field?
But that wouldn't be a 15-yarder. A little confused there. I think both sides are. You see the Antelope Valley staff looking for an explanation. Yeah, in my experience, participation is, the double touch. You come out of bounds, you're the first to touch the ball. You don't reestablish yourself, something along those lines. I did not see what would be the reason for that call. Maybe we'll get some more light shed on that.
It's Perry Jaleko over there talking to the head official, and Still trying to solve what the issue is.
I mean, that's a big break for the Cougars,
Yeah.
especially in this point of the field. So you better have an explanation for the other sideline. College of the Canyons is seemingly fine with that decision. Hey, let's line up and go. But some definite confusion from the Marauders.
Because it's not a personal foul, which generally results in an automatic first down. In this instance, it moves the ball just up to the Marauder 29, 28-yard line. So it wouldn't have been enough for a first down anyway for COC, so I wonder what the call might have been. It doesn't matter. The Cougars will have first down from their own, or from the Antelope Valley 28-yard line, so a huge break for COC here. And it'll be Floyd and Dunn in the backfield as the offense goes back to work unexpectedly. Floyd to throw here on first down, steps up in the pocket, looking downfield. Now he's going to be forced to run, meets a quartet of Marauders and finally brought down by Isaiah Borio. He picks up a couple of yards.
You saw Floyd kind of had an angle, then put the brakes on it, stutter stepped, tried to go back the other way. I feel like with his athleticism, he should have maybe just tucked it and gone. But trying to get as much real estate as he can and really take advantage of this penalty call that has gone the Cougars' way.
Okay, so quick research on the illegal participation. We'll get to that in a second here. Is Dunn on the carry, tries to get the edge. Big stiff arm takes his man down, gains about 4 yards, maybe 3, and it'll bring up third down. There's a huge stiff arm from Donovan Dunn that time.
And you heard the excitement all the way from the Cougars sideline.
I think you heard it from up here.
Still went down, but you love to see that pop and just extend on him. And that's the way you fight for yards. That's the way you get your teammates to rally around you. That's a nice job, young man.
So we'll call it a 4-yard gain. It'll put the ball at the 22-yard line. The Cougars need to get down to the Antelope Valley 18 for a first down. Another big third down here for COC as the game tied at 7. They'll give to Dunn right up the gut. He's got the numbers and gets the first down to the 14-yard line. Actually, excuse me, the 16-yard line. It'll be a first down. So the illegal participation penalty, the reason it's a 15-yard penalty as opposed to an illegal substitution penalty is they are saying it was too many players participating on purpose is what the actual rule is. So that explains the situation. And that explains why it's a first down, I guess. It's deemed to be similar to a personal foul.
We'll chalk that up to what I learned today. But that's another nice run as the Cougars get closer and closer to the goal line here.
Thank you, Google, for that explanation. We appreciate it.
Appreciate the assist.
This will be 2nd and 2. Ball spotted at the 9-yard line. Cougars need to get down, looks like between the 6 and the 7. Might be more like 2nd and 3 here. As Floyd will give. Dunn again, tried to get the edge and tackled. A good shoestring tackle that time by Christian Tucker Martin to bring him down. Tucker Martin, very active, 22 tackles on the year coming into the game, 2.5 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss. As he brings Dunn down at the line of scrimmage, so we'll go 3rd and 3 now, and another big third down for COC.
Yeah, Dunn running hard on this drive hasn't been enough yet to keep it going, so we'll see what they dial up here. Definitely in striking distance, or do you just want to try and get the 3 and stay on the field? A lot of options.
Needs to get down to the 6-yard line of Antelope Valley for a first down. Ball still on the 9. Floyd throwing. Looking to his right, now back to his left. Now throws it over the middle. Pass caught. Noah Staples, the tight end, in great position. That'll be 1st and goal for COC down to the 3-yard line.
Staples having a big-time impact on this game. Like you said, Cougars went for the let's just get what we need and stay on the field.
Staples with 4 receptions today, has more than he's had all season in just today's game. And he's got a good number of yards as well. Call it just over 50 yards on the game today. So the Cougars will 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, and they'll send the big boys out there.
Yeah, you saw Carlos Meza trot out there. You saw Matias Ortiz Jr. back out there. And anytime you get some big bodies like that running in front of you, it's going to bode well for your offense.
The Cougars will give. Virginelli trying to dive for the end zone down to the half-yard line. So the Cougars will have to run it at least one more time. Virginelli is the big man in that backfield package trying to pound it down low.
Well, that was close. I mean, if he couldn't be more than it looks like a couple inches away. I thought he was in there. And College of the Canyons might have found their short yardage back seemingly comfortable to go with number 25 here on these types of situations. He's found pay dirt a couple times.
As Floyd almost dropped the snap, picks it up, pushes towards the end zone, and they're going to say he's down a yard behind the line of scrimmage because he had his knee down dropping the snap.
You're exactly right. Nice job getting a handle on that, trying to make something, but just, touched the ground. The official was there to see that. And so no harm done.
It's a loss of a half a yard.
But you'll take that all day as opposed to what could have happened there.
And it's really a loss of like a yard and a half, I think, as it actually pushes the ball back to the 2-yard line. And Ted Iacenda going to call a timeout as they want to talk about it here with COC. She had the big back there, and it's just a miscue on the snap that you can't have in that situation.
Yeah, and the other part of it, too, I mean, you don't want to squander this opportunity. You've already been bailed out by the special teams penalty, as it were. The illegal participation. Wasn't familiar enough to say it because I hadn't seen it called that many times. But anyway, you take advantage of that. You get back down to the goal line. You've made some nice offensive plays. Can't walk away with this without some points. Of course, prefer to get the touchdown here, reestablish the tone for the Cougars.
Well, I've never seen it either. I had to Google search it to figure out what it was, so it makes about sense here. First for everything. Always learning something new. If you're not learning, you're not growing. That's how we look at it here. As we go 3rd down and goal, ball spotted at the 2-yard line of Antelope Valley, so the Cougars back up a bit, but they stay with the jumbo package in there. They'll give Virginelli, but there was a whistle before the play, so the play will not count, and we will do it again. I don't know why there was a whistle.
Maybe someone lined up off sides.
No, I don't think anybody was ready to play yet, apparently. There was no play.
Well, number 25 was ready, and he'll say, all right, give it to me again. And that doesn't really count for much. College of the Canyons looking to power this one in.
So, again, 3rd and 2 will set up again. Lopez and Mesa in the backfield along with Virginelli. Virginelli trying to push the pile. Got back to the half-yard line, no further. Cougars trying to push him across the end zone, but it was too late after the official's whistle. So it'll be 4th and a half a yard here for COC.
And credit to the Marauders, lining up and making College of the Canyons work for this one. It has not been easy sledding. It's a point in the field. Sometimes you just shrug your shoulders. They're going to get in here. Next play, not so much. ABC doing a nice job buckling down here.
So a huge first down here midway through the 2nd quarter, as it'll be 4th and a half a yard for COC, and you'd like to get pay dirt here after the good work on the drive. Floyd under center. He'll hand this time. It's Carlos Mesa. Did he get in? Waiting on a signal.
That's tough. That's going to be close.
And it is not going to get there. It's going to be right on the goal line. The nose of the football didn't break it, and Antelope Valley gets a huge stop.
Well, they call it a game of inches, and no more true than right now. Just kind of gets stood up there.
Jordan Baker on the tackle.
Number 4 there, ready to meet him. And you're right, Matt. He was short by a good half a yard. And that's, again, a nice job for the Marauders, putting their nose down and making the tough stop.
So Antelope Valley gets the stop on the half-inch line, we'll say. And they will take over there with 99 yards in their own end zone, starting out 1st and 10 here. In a game tied at 7 with 7:45 to go here in the first half. And so now if you're COC's defense, after the offense can't get into the end zone, we'll take a timeout. As Antelope Valley going to talk about things, but now it's a good spot for the COC defense to try and pull up something and really pin their ears back, go after Charmin Rester at the very least. As it's just a tough spot, so you ask the defense once again to come out and get the ball back for you.
Yeah, and again, if you're Antelope Valley, it's imperative no more mistakes. Dodged one again. That penalty, could have easily been a 14-7 or a 10-7 game. And instead, they've got the ball here with a whole lot of time left in this first half. And College of Canyon's got to be a little disappointed there on that result.
Do you like the aggressiveness on the half-yard line for COC this early in the game on a 4th down?
I do, especially after, you're trying to take advantage of what they gave you. You got your big bodies in there. You've done it before. You've shown the ability to do it. I do like the aggression, just something you got to execute. Like I said, hats off to the Marauders.
Defense has not done a bad job so far. They've held Rester to just 4 of 8 for 28 yards. He's had 44 yards on 6 carries on the ground. He's been the star for Antelope Valley so far. Cougars are going to get a safety, though, as the Marauders tried to hand off right up the middle. And guess who? Kano Mahundro back there to knock a body down. He got some help as well from big number 90 for COC in Victory Vaca, and it's a safety for COC.
And that's a nice job to respond. And just as this College of the Canyons defense has done all season long, hey, get on our back. We'll pick you up. We'll take care of things. Coach Corbett's unit out there making another big play. College of the Canyons reasserts itself with the lead. And now maybe, like you said, capture some of that momentum back here. That's a nice job.
So we'll give it to Victory Vaca for the safety. I know Kano Mahundro was somewhere around, sniffing around to try and get it. And the Cougars get a safety and have a 9-7 lead. And now we'll take the free kick away from Antelope Valley here in a moment. So looking at the numbers so far in the game, we'll wait for the Marauders to get out on the field here for the free kick. As we said, Rester 28 yards on 4 of 8 attempts through the air, 44 yards on 6 carries on the ground. Only Gardner, Rankins, and Borio with runs this year, or this game, and Rankins and Borio each with a negative yard. So it'll be a kick away here for Antelope Valley from the 20-yard line as Rowell will kick it away. So the Cougars should get pretty good field position here on the kickoff from the 20 for Antelope Valley. There's Rowell with a pretty good kick all the way back down to the 15-yard line, taken there by Royal. He'll bring it up the near side. Cuts it along the outside, had a little bit of an edge. Still has room to run on his feet across the 40 to the 50-yard line. And Rowell pushes him around, out of bounds right at the 43. A good return for Travis Royal, and the Cougars in business on offense.
Travis Royal making a name for himself here tonight, at least in this first half. You're going to see some nice blocks, a nice little spurt up the sideline. I want to call out number 36. Damian Palmieri comes back with a crackback here on the sideline and helps spring Royal. See, he makes a nice move there to get past 2. Watch the crackback. Boom, right there on the sideline. Missed it, but that's what kind of spurred him. And now College of the Canyons across midfield again. Got to get more points on the board here, though, Matt.
They'll start at the 40-yard line of Antelope Valley. Royal almost outkicked his coverage that time to cause the good return. So we'll go 1st and 10, 40-yard line for COC on the Antelope Valley side. As Brooks in the backfield with Floyd. Floyd to throw here on 1st down as the pressure picked up. Deep ball towards the end zone. Incomplete, looking for Jacoby Taylor. No flag on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
College of the Canyons trying to sell it on a couple of those plays. Almost sold one to me as I was looking for it as well, but just not enough there. Floyd definitely has the arm strength to make those passes. Just hasn't been able to connect on a regular basis here tonight.
It's a good job by the Cougars in the backfield to pick up the pressure as Antelope Valley with a little bit of a late blitz in on the play. But they gave Floyd plenty of time to throw on 1st down, just couldn't connect. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball at the plus 40 for COC. 2 backs in the backfield this time in Clark and Brooks. They will give to Clark. He tries to get the edge, spins back to the inside, picks up a gain of 4 yards down to the 36-yard line. Call it 3rd and 6 for COC.
And now Clark getting a crack at it, Matt. And this is a guy that came in on several drives last week. You know, they kind of had that rotation. He reeled off some big runs, a couple 14, 16, 9. You know, was very important on some of those scoring drives. And so we'll see if the same holds true here.
Yeah, he's listed as a receiver, but has really been used in the run game a lot this year. 10 carries, 55 yards on the ground coming into today's game, as it'll be Floyd, and he got to the 35-yard line, and that was it. So not much to do that time, as it'll be 4th and 5 for COC. And now you're kind of in that question spot. Do you go or do you punt? And it looks like they're going to use Tony Johnson to try and pin Antelope Valley back deep once again.
Yeah, it worked out for you the last time, so why not line up and see if Johnson can do it again? You know, for the offensive unit, though, you know, you got to force the issue a little bit. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. You had the tremendous field position, and to see it go away without any points, it's got to be a little bit of a letdown.
Johnson, a high end-over-end punt that takes a backwards bounce at the 15-yard line, and the Cougars will down it at the 16, maybe 17. We'll see where the spot is. A little backspin on it that time, and it'll be Antelope Valley ball. 1st and 10 with 5:57 to go here in the first half in a 9-7 ball game. COC in the lead.
Yeah, this has been a good one, Matt. You look at the records on paper. You look at the fact that Antelope Valley has just moved up into this conference, and you say, oh, okay, College of the Canyon's going to handle this. Not so much. The Marauders came to play here tonight, perhaps took a little offense that they were scheduled for a homecoming, and we talked about, again, the relationships and the familiarity with the opponent just by virtue of the geographic closeness of these two programs.
45 minutes up the 14 freeway.
No one wants to get embarrassed. No one wants to come away a loser.
So here's Rester. It's a big package in the backfield with one back behind him. Wants to throw here on first down, just backing up. Cougars trying to give chase. Now we'll dump it off underneath. Complete into the hands of Isaiah Daniels. It's a completion of 5 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 5 as they'll give him half the chance.
And Rester doing a nice job just kind of moving around, finding himself some time and making a play.
Yeah, just was kind of stepping backwards as the Cougars were coming at him. They had a bunch of big bodies moving that way. As one of those was Carlos Rivera trying to get out and get to him, just could not. As they'll give this time, Gardner gets away from Rivera, gets away from Mesa, then takes a big hit, but he has enough for the first down out across their Antelope Valley 30-yard line, and that's where they'll spot him, is at the 30.
Yeah, he'll definitely feel that hit a little bit, but I tell you what, he's going to trade it for the new set of downs.
Schneider and Barnes in on the tackle for COC. 5:05 to go here in the first half. 9-7 Cougars out in front. They've led the whole way so far. Had a 52-yard touchdown drive in their first drive of the game. Had the safety on their last defensive stand. An Antelope Valley touchdown mixed in between. As we go 1st and 10 for the Marauders. Sharman Rester, the third, takes the direct snap, looking left. Now looks over the middle. Has a man down the middle, trying to connect, but just too much on it. Looking for Isaiah Daniels.
Oh, that looked like a nice ball. Like you said, just a little bit ahead of his receiver. Feel like maybe he just got held up a little bit. Nice coverage by the Cougars.
Jerron Dorsey in on the coverage for COC. Dorsey this year, a freshman out of Wharton High School in Tampa, Florida. 5 tackles on the year and 1 pass breakup. Is just able to hold up Daniels enough to create 2nd and 10 here for Antelope Valley. Ball is spotted at the 31-yard line of the Marauders. Gardner, the lone back in the backfield for AVC. Rester looking out, calling out the plays. Will take the snap. 3-step drop, looking over the middle. Gets hit from behind as he throws. The intended target was Guizo, but he could not connect with him as Matias Ortiz Jr., the first man in on the hit.
Yeah, Ortiz Jr., boy, did he deliver a hit. Definitely a hurry on that one. But that's one that'll make you want to release the ball a little bit quicker. And so College of the Canyons here doing its job defensively, but going to need to do it one more time.
So 3rd and 10 here for Antelope Valley on their own 31-yard line. 4:43 to go here in the first half. 7 on the play clock here for AVC. I feel like they should have pumped the play clock back up because of the fact that it took them a while to get the ball off the field, and now there's going to be a delay of game penalty. I feel like the officials didn't do a very good job for Antelope Valley that time. They took forever to get a ball off the far side of the field.
Yeah, and they're going to roll with it.
Yeah.
You see some folded arms over on the opposing sideline, probably asking the same thing you just asked, Matt. What gives there?
I feel like that play clock should have been pumped back to 25, but it was not, so the Cougars will take it. It'll push Antelope Valley back to 3rd and 15. Ball goes all the way back to their own 36-yard line. And so a big 3rd down here once again for the Marauders as the Cougar defense trying to get off the field. In what's a 9-7 ball game so far. 5 on the play clock for AVC. Rester takes the snap. Cougars bringing pressure. Throws underneath. Incomplete. Intended for Lloyd, and he couldn't hold on to it. And good pressure that time from the defense in front of the Cougars.
Yeah, this defensive front's been all over the field tonight. You know, whether getting up, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket, setting the edge, letting the linebackers run around and do their thing. You know, I think so far it's been a battle in the trenches. If you had to give the edge, once I see that, you know, the Canyons defensive front maybe has the small edge, and it's, you know, it's proved beneficial for them.
Rowell to punt once again. Nearly got it blocked that time. Royal going to let this one bounce. Tried to pick it up at the 35-yard line and was able to keep it just close enough to him to cover it up at the 34. So the Cougars will take over there. That got an audible gasp from just about everybody up in the booth.
Yeah, both sides of the ball. A game of inches. You almost get the block, and then you see here him just kind of get a fingertip and be able to haul it back in. And so some dangerous activity down there on the field.
So the Cougars will take over at their own 34-yard line. Another drive here with 4:20 to go in the first half, leading 9-7. And there's a stoppage because I think the kicking ball for Antelope Valley was on the COC sideline. I'm not actually sure what's happening right now. I know there's a ball boy running around on the field trying to get a ball into the correct position here. And so it seems like it was a ball issue. So it'll be 1st and 10 for COC. As they'll start at their own 34-yard line. It'll be Floyd with Brooks in the backfield next to him. Floyd takes the snap, fakes the hand, play action, needs to move, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A sack for Jordan Baker. Baker, his 5th sack of the season, had an interception for a touchdown against Saddleback in week number 3, including 9 tackles and 2 tackles for a loss in that game, and comes up with a big sack, his 5th of the year for AVC, and he'll back the Cougars up a 7-yard loss all the way back to their own 27-yard line. So the Cougars need to get out to their own 44. It'll be 2nd down and long here. 3:45 to go in the first half. 9-7 COC. Floyd takes the snap. Looking over the middle, wants to air it out, throwing it downfield, looking for the man, pass, caught right at the 20-yard line. Lyndon Revere with a huge reception for COC, and the Cougars are in the red zone with 3:31 to go here in the first. So a huge throw from Floyd to Revere, who makes his presence felt again. The freshman out of Victorville, California. 9 receptions, 212 yards on the year coming into the game, and has a huge one there. The Cougars in business on the 18-yard line of Antelope Valley. Got to be a free play for COC. They'll throw to the end zone looking for Revere again. He's brought down. It's incomplete, but it's not going to matter as it's a free play for the Cougars. Be 1st down and 5 as the ball move up half the way. So for Floyd to Revere, a 55-yard completion down to the Antelope Valley 18-yard line. As we said, Revere, 9 receptions, 212 yards. His first reception today on the catch. He's had 3 touchdown receptions so far on the year. It's been one of Emory Floyd's favorite targets this season. As the Cougars will go back to work 1st and 5. Cougars trying to organize here as Floyd walks up to the line of scrimmage. Calls out the protection to the offensive line as he has Brooks straight behind him. He'll fake the handoff, needs to get rid of it. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. First man in was Cameron Gee, helped out by Terrell Brown. It's the 4th sack of the ball game for Antelope Valley here in this first half. Scratch that, make it the 3rd. So pushes it back to the 22-yard line. And now the Cougars find themselves in 2nd and 13. And they back themselves back up outside the red zone to the 22. Here's Floyd to throw, looking, Pat batted down at the line of scrimmage. Terrell Brown out of Killeen High School has the bat down at the line of scrimmage. Brown been very active again here today. 3 tackles in every game so far this season. He had 3 tackles for loss in the win against Grossmont College. So certainly a guy that can affect the game at the line of scrimmage. 6'4", 260, the defensive lineman. As the Cougars go 3rd and 13, ball at the 22-yard line of Antelope Valley. And if you're COC, you can't have another drive stall out on you after the huge 55-yard completion from Floyd to Revere. As Floyd to throw, looking left. Now he'll move back to his right. Slips a man, throws over the middle, incomplete. Was intended in the end zone for Staples. In on the coverage that time was TJ Graham. And it'll bring 4th down for COC. And they will send the field goal unit out onto the field for Asa Johnson to give it a shot. Johnson's long this year is 40. He's 2 for 3 in field goals this year. This will be right about his long. It'll be 39-yard field goal attempt, as it'll be spotted at the 29 where the kick is going to be from. Kick up here from the 29. Johnson's kick is no good as he misses wide right. And the Cougars come up empty once again down deep in the Antelope Valley territory. A 39-yarder that misses to the right. And AVC gets another good stop on defense despite some extra pressure from COC. And with 1:58 to go here in the first half, the Marauders will take over on their own 22-yard line. Pass on first down, complete, missed tackle as Omar Lopez able to slip the tackle that time, and the Marauders have a first down out to the 37-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball all the way up to the 37-yard line on one play for Antelope Valley. Clock running at 1:23. Rester in the backfield with Gardner next to him. 3-step drop, looking over the middle. Almost got run into by a man falling down. Instead, will tuck it and run. Starts his slide at the 46-yard line, a yard short of the sticks. It'll bring 2nd down and 1 on a 9-yard gain. A timeout called. Is Antelope Valley going to use their final timeout here in the first half with 60 seconds to go as they trail 9-7. So the Cougars get a 55-yard pass and catch from Floyd to Revere, but then a 39-yard field goal attempt missed wide right by Asa Johnson. And now AVC in a 2-minute drill, already up to their own 46-yard line, trying to go to work and get themselves the lead for the first time today. Looking at the numbers, Rester 6 of 13 for 74 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. On the other side, Emery Floyd 8 of 17 for 158 yards. No touchdowns and no interceptions. On the ground, it's been Donovan Dunn right now for COC with 5 carries and 23 yards. Sharman Rester 7 carries, 27 yards, then a touchdown for Antelope Valley. As that's been pretty much the Rester show on offense as he'll throw. Underneath, pass is caught. Enough for a first down, but the ball is out. Knocked out by COC and recovered underneath. as it was Mr. Varner on the recovery. And so the Cougars get a huge takeaway with 53 seconds to go in the first half at their own 48-yard line. The pass was complete to DeJean Brown, but then he had it stripped out, didn't see who caused it. We'll have to look back. But either way, it's 1st and 10 for the Cougars at their own 48-yard line with 53 seconds to go, and they can try and go 2 for 1 here. So remember, the Cougars will get the ball out of the halftime break. As Floyd looks at the sidelines, calls up, calls the protection out. Has Brooks in the backfield with him. A timeout called by Ted Iacenda. So the Cougars get a huge defensive play once again from the COC defense. We've already talked about them a lot today, but they have allowed 20 points per game. That's 50th in the state, which doesn't seem like it's pretty high. They've given up 360 yards per game, 200 through the air, but 159 on the ground is 16th best. And again, they just find a way to create turnovers. That is their 6th fumble recovery this year. They're already top 10 in the state in that number. They've had 12 sacks. They've had 3 interceptions. So the Cougars are very good on the defensive end. And once again, the unit says, I've got you guys, puts the Cougars on their back, creates a turnover, and now CLC will go to work. It was Will Mafu that caused the fumble and recovered by Mr. Varner, and the Cougars will go back to work here. 1st and 10, ball spotted at their own 48-yard line. Floyd, 3-step drop, looking downfield, throwing, wanting Rivera towards the end zone, incomplete. Good coverage downfield that time for Antelope Valley, as in on the coverage was Cameron Gee. He and Rivera step-for-step hand fighting, and the pass just out of the reach of the right arm of Lyndon Rivera. So the Cougars take a shot on 1st down. You can see the hand fighting, and Rivera could just never quite catch up to it. Good coverage that time from Cameron Gee out of Killeen High School, as we said, the freshman defensive back. 2nd and 10 here for COC. Play action pass, incomplete, looking for Dunn on the outside. It was going to be sniffed out pretty well by Antelope Valley anyway, as TJ Graham was moving that way. So we'll go 3rd and 10 here, ball at the 48-yard line. 42 seconds to go in the first half. It has been an interesting first half. Neither team's offense clicking on all cylinders. The defenses have really shown up and shown out so far as we go 3rd down. Floyd going to give. This time Brooks plunges ahead, gets across the 45-yard line. That's where they'll spot him 3 yards short. They stopped the clock for some reason. And now Ted Iacenda out on the field. So the Cougars will take a 10-second runoff. So they'll run the 10 seconds off. We'll restart the clock here. And the Cougars will let this one run out and take the ball into the locker room at halftime with a 9-7 lead here over Antelope Valley. So an interesting first half. We'll step aside here on Homecoming Week, second half action. We come back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now. At College of the Canyons, we're always here to help make your future remarkable. Choosing classes is always flexible, so you can study your way. Learn at one of our 2 state-of-the-art campuses, or from home with our online options. Tuition is always affordable, with classes starting at just $46 per unit. We offer financial aid and 0 textbook cost classes to help you save. Always flexible, affordable, remarkable. Always College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule now.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do, and the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Welcome back into the Cougar Sports Network, SoCal College Sports, as we get ready for second half action here in homecoming week between COC and Antelope Valley. The Cougars with a 9-7 lead, and we'll get the ball out of the halftime break. Look at some of the first half numbers. Each team with 8 or more first downs. The Cougars with 8, Antelope Valley with 9. Not a lot of yards out there for either side. For the Cougars, 220 total yards. For Antelope Valley, 132 total yards. The Cougars have run 9 more plays than Antelope Valley today, 38-29. COC 0 for 1 on fourth down, just 3 of 10 on third down. Antelope Valley 1 of 5 on third down today as the Cougars have a 9-7 lead. It's been a defensive struggle to say the least as we get ready for second half action. As we said, the Cougars will have the ball in their gray uniforms as we get back to work here in the second half. Cougars, of course, started the season 0-2, have won their last 2. Their first 0-2 start since 2014. That year they went 4-6, only one of 2 losing seasons since the program's return back in 1998. They did the same in 2012, finished 7-4, lost in the SoCal Bowl to Santa Ana. As we get back to work, Jesse Munoz rejoins us after sprinting up the stairs, running the halftime homecoming festivities today.
This is my 5th trip up and down the stairs, but I'm back with us here.
Just 5?
Getting excited for what should be a hard-fought second half here. If it was anywhere close to as hard-fought as that musical chairs.
Laurel Durkin comes away with the win, one of our women's soccer players. That's going to be taken by Don Ray Hall on the kickoff. He'll run it all the way back to his left, and then he gets tied up around the neck on a big tackle that time for Antelope Valley from William Alford on the tackle. And the Cougars will start with the ball at their own 18-yard line. Well, COC in the last 13 matchups against Antelope Valley, Jesse, have won all 13 matchups dating back to 1999. They have outscored the Marauders 208-83 in the last 5. And have outscored them 546-267, but you wouldn't know it by the way this game looks today in a 9-7 battle.
No, absolutely. And so historically, that 1999 stat, that's the second year after College of the Canyons brought back their football program, of course, reestablished in 1998. So we talked about a lot of familiarity here, even though College of the Canyons has been on the winning side for the majority of those, actually all of those. This is still going to be a hard-fought matchup.
All but one. The Cougars 13-1 since 1998 against Antelope Valley. It's a loss of 1 for Donovan Dunn. And we'll go second down and 11.
And so it'll be interesting to see here, Matt, what the Cougars' approach is coming out here in the second half. Had some opportunities, weren't able to make the most of them.
As Floyd to throw, rolling the pocket to his right. Now he'll just tuck it and run. Squirts between a couple of players, lost the ball as he came out of bounds. But he got to the 30 or the 25-yard line. And a nice little gain of, we'll call it 8. And actually they'll spot him back at the 24.
Yeah, and I was starting to say that might be a little bit more what we see, letting Emory Floyd take the ball, kind of matriculate up the field or find a gap, whatever he needs to do. He's shown that tendency already. And then mix it in with some of those big chunk plays. You saw the Cougars find some success on the trick. We're able to move the ball downfield, but it's been the in-between where they've kind of gotten held up.
They need to get to their own 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4. It's Brooks pushing the pile. He's going to get there. He's going to get the half a yard more than he needed. And it'll be a first down for COC. So a decent start on this first drive. All on the ground so far. 3 runs, 10 yards. And we'll go 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line for COC.
And if you can get 10 out of 3, you'll just keep doing that every time. That's a formula that'll work. The College of the Canyons, again, we probably one of the groups we don't talk enough about is that offensive line, that front 5 up there, working hard each and every week. Coach Mark Dunlaw's got these guys. He said something to them at halftime, get them inspired.
Brooks almost dropped the ball on the handoff, but was able to regather and gain 2 yards. A 2-yard carry. And remember the Cougars, you talk about that front 5. It really, truly is a front 5. The Cougars really rarely ever in 11 or 12 personnel. It's really just 5 offensive linemen doing the work.
Yeah, it's line up, see the man in front of you, and, put your hand on the ground and execute. And so far, historically, this unit has been a well-coached, well-performing group of young men. and something that the Cougars are really going to lean into, especially when you get into a battle like this where it's going to be won or lost in the trenches.
2nd down and 8. Floyd to throw here on 2nd down, looking to his left the whole way. Pass is caught to Jacoby Taylor, and he's wrapped up out of bounds at the 48-yard line. A nice pickup that time. Call it about a 15-yard gain. It'll be a first down for COC. So good throw for Emory Floyd, who in the first half was 8 of 19 for 158 yards. Didn't have a touchdown pass, but more importantly for COC, they have not turned the ball over once again today.
Yeah, that'll be something that this coaching staff preaches week in and week out. And if you can maintain that through, you're definitely going to give yourself an edge.
Floyd to throw here on 1st down. Looking now, he's going to scramble out of the pocket. Needs to get rid of it. Fires it over the middle. Pass is caught by Lyndon Rivera. Enough for a first down. A smooth little 16-yard pitch and catch down to the 36-yard line.
And that's a nice job by Rivera. You're going to see kind of just come back to him, come back to Floyd here on the route. He does a nice job finding him.
So 1st and 10 for COC, down into the Antelope Valley 36-yard line. Floyd stays in the backfield with Brooks to his right. Movement up front, but it's going to be an offside, so the Cougars will take a shot to the end zone on a free play. Incomplete, nearly intercepted, wouldn't have mattered. Jamie Hawkins was out there in the coverage, but the Cougars will get another shot at it here on 1st and 5. As you can see right here, number 12, Terrell Brown, going to be the man that moves the offensive line.
Defense, number 12.
Yeah, just a hair too fast. Tried to time that out. Got tagged on the penalty.
So 1st and 5 here for COC. As the Cougars will go to work on a shorter first down, half the chains removed from the penalty to Brown. And remember, we talked about it pregame. Antelope Valley, the 10th most penalized team in the state of California this year. And you already look at the penalty numbers here today, here in a moment, as Floyd will give. Bouncing around is Brooks. He's got the edge, and he gets to the 20-yard line and pushed out of bounds. Good run for Malik Brooks.
Yeah, nice run by Brooks, and a nice combo. Noah Staples in there to kind of get that kick block, spur Brooks, and then he made a nice move to get the first down yardage that he needed. So College of the Canyons here doing some good things on their first drive of the second half. You know, content to keep the ball on the ground here. We talked about it already a little bit. These big guys up front going to do their thing, especially coming out of the halftime locker room. You know they've gotten some new words of advice after they made their trip up there.
Antelope Valley, 4 penalties for 30 yards so far in the game. Brooks on the handoff. Good delay. Has room to run. Got the edge. Cuts back to the middle. Into the end zone for Pater. Malik Brooks. A touchdown for COC from 21 yards out to start the second half.
Well, that'll definitely get this crowd fired up again, Matt, but you said it perfectly. A nice delay. Kind of waited for the blocks in front of him and then bounced it outside at the perfect time. And from there, it was just slashing his way into the end zone. College of the Canyons on top here.
Believe it or not, for Malik Brooks, all the work he has done this year on the ground, that is his first rushing touchdown of the season, his first touchdown of the season for COC, and it comes at a great time to start the second half. The point after is good from Asa Johnson, and the Cougars will take a 16-7 lead. But for Brooks, you take a look at it once again here, Jesse, just the delay, the bounce outside, and the quick plant right here.
Yeah, just does a nice job, like you said. Plant, make your decision, and then go for it. And we talked about Brooks again, and one of those guys we are routinely calling him, looking for him, seeing where he is in the formation. You know, the lack of touchdowns it's not a knock against him. It's just a virtue of the College of the Canyons play calling. You know, a lot of short runs. You talk about Emory Johnson, 5 rushing touchdowns. Virginelli now with 3. So, you know, these are, we get close and you kind of go to a different scheme or a different package. And Brooks, definitely one of those athletes that has the ability, even if he has to bust it from a little bit farther out.
So the Cougars get a touchdown, 16-7.
And College of the Canyons coming out of the halftime locker room, you know, you always want to come out and get points on the board, especially, you know, after the break, re-seize that momentum And now the defense will have their turn to try and keep this game in control.
Tajin Brown took the kick at about the 5-yard line, cuts it back as he reverses his field, and he's forced out of bounds just across the 25-yard line. We'll see where they give him the spot. Lots of movement, not a lot of yards gained back on the kick. And so Antelope Valley will take over. So it'll be the 25-yard line for Antelope Valley. And here we go, 1st and 10 for AVC. As we go back to Sharman Restford III, getting his first opportunity with the football here in the second half, right after the COC touchdown a few moments ago. As Rester with 3 receivers to the near side, it was almost a direct snap right to Gardner, and he lost the football. They say he was down, though, on the play. Looked like Jackson Volk was in there to try and recover it, but they say it doesn't matter. And he was down almost immediately. It looked like almost a direct snap.
Yeah, that's one of those ones. If you're Antelope Valley, you're putting your hand in your head in your hands. They're saying, no, let's not start this way. No surprise that Jackson Volk was in and around the area. And so again, one of those things where the Marauders are going to have to execute a little bit better on those.
Victor Ibaka coming up the field a little bit limp as he was kind of hopping off the field. Pass from Rester downfield in an area intercepted by COC right at the 43-yard line of the Cougars. Coming away with it for COC was Timothy Jackson, and the second takeaway of the ball game for College of the Canyons.
Timothy Jackson, perfect place, perfect timing, playing center field out there, just kind of hopped up and took it out of the air. And you can turn these Marauders over and put your offense back on the field. That's exactly what you want to do. Nice execution out there, and this defense continues to play well, Matt, having only given up, I think it's 4 touchdowns in the last 12 quarters of play. So keeping this Cougar unit, keeping this Cougar team excited and active out there.
Rester was looking for Lloyd downfield and just couldn't hit him. It was really underthrown. Jackson was about the only man that could get there. So COC will go back to work on their own 44-yard line, leading 16-7. With Floyd and Dunn in the backfield, they'll go with a little reverse here. Don Ray Hall trying to get around the edge, has Floyd out in front blocking him, needs to keep a hold of the football, and he's able to fall forward. They're going to mark him down a yard short. I thought he might have had the first down, but they'll mark him at the 47-yard line, a 9-yard run on a little reverse.
The 2 things I love about that play, Emory Floyd getting out front to block, and Don Ray Hall pushing him ahead. Get out of my way, I'm coming. And it's just about enough for a first down, but the Cougars again in business across midfield and seemingly all the momentum right now.
2nd down and 1, ball spotted at the 47-yard line of Antelope Valley now as Floyd stays with Dunn in the backfield. Cougars have pulled out their bag of tricks a couple of times today, and it's worked. This time Floyd on a straight keep has enough for a first down as he runs ahead across the 40-yard line. They'll spot him down at the Antelope Valley 38. First down for COC, and really just the first run of the ball game, I believe, for Emory Floyd.
Yeah, you know what, and when he gets going like that, full head of steam with some space in front of him, he is a powerful runner, man, a guy that's hard to take down, a guy that's not afraid to run with the ball, regardless of the hits he might take. Talked about it already, the 5 rushing touchdowns, but it's the plays like that that'll keep your team on the field, extend the drives that are going to really be the most beneficial.
First real designed run of the day for him, but he has been sacked a few times. His negative 29 yards on before that last play. Here's a run from Donovan Dunn. Plenty of room for him as he scampers up the far side across the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Donovan Dunn, once again, nice little run. He's had a nice game so far today.
Yes, he has. All these Cougar running backs doing well, running with authority. But another shout-out, Noah Staples has been all over the place, throwing blocks, sealing the edge, getting out in front of guys, and that's been a big part of the success of this run game.
7th carry of the ball game for Donovan Dunn. We'll get updated numbers on him. He had 6 for 22 in the first half. As the Cougars go with 2 backs in the backfield this time, Staples going to be one of them as they'll hand to Dunn, and that time he's taken down with a loss of a yard. First man in on the tackle is Jason Walker. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, kind of just slung Dunn down on the ground there. And Dunn popped up, looking like what's going on there. And so, again, this Antelope Valley team is not going to have any quit in them, especially this point of the field, we've already stopped them once. They have a little bit of confidence. It seems like the Cougars are in control, but don't count out the Marauders.
8 for 36 yards today for Donovan Dunn as we go back to work here for COC on 2nd down and 11 from the 24-yard line. Floyd keeps it himself, rolls the pocket, throws over the middle, throws down the sideline, passing complete, looking for Donray Hall.
I think that ball might have been tipped. It's a little bit low. Looking for Hall there. And so, again, College of the Canyons really going to need to buckle down here, want to come away with points.
For Donray Hall, I believe those are really the first offensive yards for him this year, that rushing play where he picked up 9. He really has not been used much in the passing game, does not have a reception so far this year. It's really been more of a punt returner, kick returner, so nice to see him out there getting some action. As we go on 3rd down and 11 on the 24-yard line, 25-yard line. I think it's actually halfway between the 24 and the 25 as Floyd will take the snap, a 3-step drop, looking to his right the whole way, pass, caught, 1st down for COC. As it was Lyndon Rivera there once again, his favorite target on the year. Rivera with another big reception, give him 11 on the season now.
Yeah, Rivera's definitely been active, had a couple long touchdown plays here early in the early going of this season. You know, we talked about Floyd being able to spread the ball a little bit out, you know, tonight, find some new receivers, some of the names we've called in the first half. But, you know, you always go back to your old familiar target there. Especially here in the red zone, I wouldn't be surprised if he looks to him again.
Staples coming off. The Cougars going to go with a split back set with Clark and Dunn in the backfield here. 2 receivers out to the far side. Rivera on the slot on the near side. Floyd gives. Clark trying to get the edge. Able to get the corner, but brought down just short of the 4-yard line, as that's where they'll spot him. He'll be a couple of yards short of a 1st down. He tried to dive towards the end zone and couldn't get there.
I thought he was going to get it. He had a step on him on that edge. I think if it wasn't that he didn't, you know, he got kind of tripped up there, just barely prevented him from getting in the end zone. And so here comes the package that we talked about.
So they did give him the 1st down as they put it at the 1-yard line. I thought they spotted him at the 3, but the spot was actually further along. So we'll call it the 1-yard line and the jumbo package in, as you said, Jesse.
Let's see a lot of options out there. We've seen Virginelli, we've seen Meza.
They'll give, piling right through. The pile was Donovan Dunn, and he's into the end zone for a COC touchdown with 5:28 to go in the 3rd quarter.
And Dunn was the other name I just hadn't had a chance to spit out yet, but part of that jumbo package, and you see him just running hard, a lot of fire coming out of that 1st step, gets into the end zone. College of the Canyons seizing control here in the 2nd half, 5:28 to go, and it's been all Cougars here to start this 2nd half.
So Donovan Dunn gets into the end zone after some really good work on the drive. He gets to pay it off, finds pay dirt for COC, and now they've extended the lead to 22-7, make it 23, as the point after is through for Asa Johnson, who has been perfect so far this year on the extra point tries. Make it 14 for 14 so far this year. 23-7 in favor of COC, 5:28 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And that was a very methodical and very solid drive from the Cougars.
Yeah, and I think we're going to start to see more of that. You know, College of the Canyons, you know, prides themselves on their work ethic, their conditioning, their ability. And you can come out here in the 2nd half and just kind of dictate things with your run game. Pass when you need to, of course, and you've got those weapons available. But if you can impose your will and move the ball downfield like that, it's going to end up being a long night for the Marauders.
So 23-7 lead, 5:28 to go. The Cougars find the end zone on the red zone. They've been 63% this year in the red zone. Had that number come down a little bit today as they kind of struggled in the red zone a little bit, have not been able to find pay dirt until this 3rd quarter, and they've got a couple of touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, and they've extended their lead up to 16 points at 23-7 as Tony Johnson will kick it away. Gathered at the 7-yard line for Antelope Valley by Tajin Brown. He returns it up to the 20-yard line, and that's it. The Cougars defense will come back out on the field with a 16-point lead facing the Antelope Valley offense and Sharman Rester, who's just now trying to get his team back within striking distance here in the 3rd quarter.
And for Dunn, exciting, you know, the touchdown, a little bit of a legacy player for us. His brother on the coaching staff here.
His brother was a good player for us.
Was a great player for us here, and the same thing in that offensive backfield. So you know there's a smile on his face. You know that the younger Dunn has been to many games here, has seen what it takes to be a College of the Canyons Cougar, and to see him perform well is exciting.
Rester to throw here on first down, nearly intercepted. It actually hit the defensive back right in the hands of the linebacker. Right in the hands. They don't see who it is. Although I'm trying to pick up a number. I think it might have been Joshua Lopez that time.
Yeah, he was right there, and the Cougars almost turned him over again.
I don't know. That could be a 48. It could be a 40 lot of things.
Is either
Broken up by 48.
That's going to be 48 on that. Joshua Lopez out of Chaminade. Again, perfect positioning there.
So second down and 10. Lopez gets credit for a pass breakup when it should have been an interception, he'll tell you. But nonetheless, second down here. Two backs in the backfield for Antelope Valley. They'll fake the handoff. Rester will roll the pocket. He's going to throw it downfield. Pass is caught by the tight end, Guizo, and he'll scamper out of bounds at the 38-yard line. So a nice pass and catch that time. Enough for a 15-yard gain and a first down for AVC.
Yeah, like you said, Matt, that's a nice job just keeping things moving, getting yourself a new set of downs.
Guizo's been the third favorite target for Rester this year. 9 receptions coming into the game, has a couple so far today. And he's now up over 20 yards receiving as Rester goes back to work. This time he has Gardner in the backfield with him. Actually, no, it's not Gardner, but it doesn't matter as Rester is going to escape what would have been a sack. Now fires it downfield for a man wide open, but he just missed him. About 5 yards ahead from the intended target of Tajin Brown.
Well, look, he was right on the line of scrimmage when he launched that, and that's the second or third time tonight that he has overthrown his man. So definitely has the arm strength there. Marauders just not able to run the routes and hook up with him. And that's got to be frustrating when you're able to get that ball off and there's nobody on the other end.
It's about the 4th time today Joseph Marsh has been in the backfield chasing Rester and just hasn't come up with him. You got to figure at some point he's going to get home here.
Yeah, you know, Joseph Marsh, he's definitely a dude for us. And, you know, coincidentally, his biggest plays have come in the second half of ball games. So, like you said, Matt, look for him more.
Rester to throw. Able to escape some pressure. He's going to slide down short of the line to gain as he's going to go down at the 36-yard line. And he'll be short by 3 yards. Actually 2 as he needed to get to the 47-yard line.
Well, it looks like he might have played some baseball because he broke up that double play. Took down Meza right there in the middle. You know, he's a hard-nosed kid that runs around out there trying to do his best to make some plays for this Marauder side.
Marauder's going to go for it here on 3rd and 2. Or it's 3rd and 2. I thought it was 4th and 2. It's 3rd and 2. They need to get to the 48-yard line of their side of the field. As Rester to throw, escapes one man. Now he'll run, and he's got enough for a first down as he crosses midfield to the 45-yard line of COC, and Rester's legs doing some damage here on this drive. 9th carry of the game for him. He's up over 35 yards. Now give him 40-plus in the ball game as it's another first down to the Cougar 44. They gave Joshua Lopez credit for the tackle as Rester will go back to work to throw here. Rester looking. He's going to be grabbed, gets away. Now he's brought down all the way back at the 40-yard line. This time it was Joseph Marsh. Got some help from a couple of his friends as one of the big bodies got a hand on him to knock him backwards.
Well, we called it. This is when he shines the most. Second half, you know, we saw him the first 2 weeks come away with some big sacks, had a strip sack on one of them, and again gets to the quarterback there. This is a guy with a high motor, runs around a lot out there, always in the backfield.
So Marsh going to get credit for the sack, but it was really Colquitt who got his big right hand on the back of Charmin Rester that caused it, because that forced Rester to run backwards further, and Marsh could just pursue.
And Colquitt, another one of those guys in and out in the stat line each and every week, making a big impact here for the Cougars.
Rester to throw, rolls the pocket, throws downfield, kind of just floats one out of play. And it'll bring 3rd down and 24 for Antelope Valley all the way back at their own 42-yard line.
And I feel like the Marauders maybe got away with one there. You see one of the defensive linemen out there complaining a little bit. Can't hold me like that.
Little jersey tug, salt shoulder pad for a moment there. It's usually a dead giveaway. But we'll go 3rd down, 24. They need to get all the way to the COC 35, call it 35.5-yard line.
In the College of Canyons, you do not want to commit a penalty here. Give the Marauders any
Or the
chance.
34, actually. Sorry, Jesse, go ahead. It's Rester to throw. Over the middle, and that one's intercepted right into the hands of the Cougars, and trying to return it back the other way for COC is Timothy Jackson, still on his feet to the 5, and he goes down as Rester made a touchdown saving tackle. Jackson just in center field that time, I believe has his 2nd interception of the ball game.
Yep, once again, right place, right time. You let your defensive front get in there and cause havoc. Looked like he might have been hit as he threw. Didn't get enough on that ball. And then Jackson just there to come down with it and take it to all the way down. And Cougars in business again.
So COC with 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. And remember, this is an offense that's 63% in the red zone this year. Today they've had a little bit of a struggle so far, but now they've got another chance to get down there and get points as they go to work here on the offensive side with a change at quarterback here, as it's going to be Bryce Dixon in there at QB. Dixon going to give Malik Brooks, takes a hit, dives down to the 1-yard line. They'll spot him there, and it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 1.
And Brooks, like to see him ready, always prepared. Anytime his number is called, this is a young man that's able to step in. You remember, started the first 2 games of the season for the Cougars. It was a little bit of a quarterback rotation. But again, had his number called a few weeks ago, stepped in and made some big plays. We'll see what he does here.
Dixon will give once again. Brooks trying to push the pile to the end zone. Touchdown, Malik Brooks. Touchdown, COC.
And College of the Canyons now just pulling out all the stops. Scoring, taking control of this game. The defensive turnovers translates to the offensive points on the board. And, Matt, I got to feel like College of the Canyons came out of the halftime locker room and said to themselves, hey, we're COC. Let's stop messing around here. Let's get down to business and play the way we know we can. And that's what we're seeing so far.
Well, that's absolutely, you say it right there, and that's absolutely one of those things that needs to, especially for a team like COC, is they're going to muff the PAT, throw towards the end zone, and a 2-point conversion attempt now is incomplete. That's a pretty good play from Tony Johnson.
That's a tremendous play. He almost got himself a 2-point conversion. A little bit of athleticism there, picking up the ball and getting it downfield. I think if his receiver's an inch taller, he comes down with that. So a good heads-up play. You know, you're disappointed you miss out on the point. But with this game in control at this point of the 3rd quarter, that's okay. You try and make the most of it.
So it's a 22-point lead for COC. We were saying that's one of those things kind of early in the year. The Cougars have seen some struggles, have not really stepped on the gas when they needed to. But now you're at the point in the season, 5 games in, where there's no messing around now. You've got to go win games, and you've got to do them in flashy fashion early.
And I think, too, you know, a restored sense of confidence. You've won your last 2 games. Those are against ranked opponents. You re-entered the top 25 this week. I know the coaching staff will tell you they don't care. They don't pay attention to those types of things. But, again, it's just, you know, an aura of confidence for your program to know that you're ranked, that you're competing with ranked teams, and then more importantly, that you're taking care of business against the opponents that you're supposed to beat.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any easier on the schedule. El Camino, Allen Hancock, the next 2 games out for COC. On the road against El Camino after the bye week on the 12th, and then back here on the 21st against Allen Hancock before a road game against Moorpark. And they kind of go home road the rest of the way down the schedule. Is the kickoff taken by Tajin Brown. He'll bring it back up the near sideline outside the hash mark, tackled inside the numbers at the 25-yard line, and that's where Antelope Valley will take over. Talk about you got Moorpark back out on the road, Bakersfield then back out on the road, which will be a tough late-season matchup. And then, of course, Ventura back here at Cougar Stadium to finish out the year on November 11th.
Yeah, we talked about this Northern League. There are no weeks off, you know, conference realignment, some new foes in the mix. But this is going to be a battle each and every week the rest of the way. And real quick, Matt, let's not discount Antelope Valley here. I mean, you know, they get a chunk play. They're right back in this ballgame. So it's important to College of the Canyons. You want to play with confidence, but you don't want to feel like this is over with so much time to go.
There's 1:43 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Rester will give. Gardner with plenty of room to run. Gets tackled. Coming up to make the tackle for COC was Jerion Dorsey. and he's about 2 yards short, a nice little 7-yard, 8-yard gain for Gardner.
Yeah, I thought he had an opportunity to get a little bit more than that. There was some room in front of him. The Cougars a nice job kind of settling down to come up and make that tackle. But again, you know, the Antelope Valley gets a quick one here, and the tables are turned a little bit. You put the issue back on College of the Canyons, hoping that doesn't happen.
Rester again on the give straight to Gardner, wrapped up in the backfield. He was trying to get away, and 3 Cougars there to bring him down. Didn't see who the first man in was. Looks like it might have been R.B. Wilson, the 5th, the first man to make contact.
Yeah, R.B. Wilson, haven't had a chance to call his name too much yet, but another one of those guys always around the ball, always flying around, ready to make a hit. And so there's the bells again, a nice 3rd down summons for the Cougar defense. Get off the field, let Dixon and company go back to work, and excite this crowd a little bit more.
3rd and 5 from the 33, wide for Antelope Valley here. They'll throw in a quick pass out to the outside, caught by number 3, Avion Rankins, but he's not going to have enough for a first down as he picks up just a yard.
And Timothy Jackson right there, broke down, make the tackle, driving back to the middle of the field where your buddies are. Jackson's playing a nice second half here tonight. A good ball game for this defense.
So 3 and out here for Antelope Valley. They're going to be forced to punt. I think they're going to take a timeout here, as I don't think they have the punt unit ready to go on the field. And actually, that's just going to end the 3rd quarter. I'm sorry. If I look up at the game clock, I can tell you that. As it's 29-7, COC will take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network and SoCal College Sports.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice your sub is the coolest thing you'll see. And the second coolest thing you'll see is this.
Woo! Here we go. Twirl. Up, big, hand down. One hand, up. No. Flip.
I could eat.
Sliced right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
We go to the 4th quarter here from Cougar Stadium, 29-7 in favor of COC. As it's 4th down and 3, Antelope Valley going to kick this one away after a good defensive stand from COC just a few moments ago. As this ball kicked away, and it's an end-over-end kick that's going to take an Antelope Valley bounce. And the Marauders will down it at the 34-yard line, so that's where COC will take over once again here in the 4th quarter. 29-7 in favor of the Cougars. And the 3rd quarter was a really good one for COC, Jesse. 20 points on the board for COC. They got touchdown runs from Malik Brooks, Donovan Dunn, or 2 from Malik Brooks and 1 from Donovan Dunn. So a good 3rd quarter for the Cougars.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be the blueprint the rest of the way is just line up, ground it out. You know, you've got a stable of running backs back there that have all shown flashes tonight. 3 or 4 of them gotten in the end zone already. You know, this offensive front, you know they're not tired, so let's just keep the train running.
They'll hand to Donovan Dunn this time. He'll try and bounce up the middle of the field, and he'll get a yard, and that is it. Some late fighting after the whistle. We'll see if any flags come of it. Doesn't look like there will be anything, as they're just playing hard, so we'll go 2nd down and 9, a 1-yard gain for Dunn, who, as we said, has had a good game today, one of his best games of the year. 9 carries, 37 yards before that last one for Donovan Dunn. He's really been very active this year, or this game for Dunn. 12 carries, just 71 yards coming into the game, so a much better performance from him today, and he's much more used today than I think he's been really all year.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference, Matt. A lot of opportunities for these guys when the Cougars, decide they want to run the ball. They have the ability to do so with a lot of options.
So here's Bryce Dixon just powering ahead. He's going to be 2 yards short of the first down, as they'll spot him down at the 42 and an extremely late flag after the play. I wonder who the penalty is going to be on. Borio was over there along with one of the Cougars. I didn't see who the Cougar was.
Well, 9's walking off the field right now. Maybe, going over to get talked to there.
So it's offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on the offense and the defense. They didn't call out numbers, so I don't know who it was.
I want to say it was 9. Barrio got tied up with one of our offensive linemen. You know, just a little extracurricular back there.
Evan Waldron for the offense.
Yeah.
So Evan Waldron, the offensive lineman for COC, and as you said, Borio for Antelope Valley. So it doesn't much matter. It keeps it at 3rd and 1 here. As Bryce Dixon, the quarterback for COC, going to work. Dixon took over midway through that 3rd quarter, and he comes in once again. He'll hand. Verginelli this time has the edge, stumbles across the 50 and down to the 48-yard line of Antelope Valley. Robin Verginelli with a nice little run.
This kid's got some pop in his step. Each and every time he gets the ball, he's coming out of there like he's shooting out of a cannon. And it's nice to see him get not nice to see him go down like that, but nice to see him get carries in the middle of the field like that. Typically been a short yardage guy.
Unfortunately, his run going to be negated by a penalty for holding on COC. And with Verginelli down on the field, we'll wait for the medical staff to take care of him. Sarah Ursum out there, and we'll take a timeout here for a moment. 13:54, COC 29, Antelope Valley 7. We're 77. All right, we'll go back. So the run negated from Verginelli. He was able to get off with some help from the medical staff. It looks like it's maybe his right knee. So he'll go over to the tent and get checked out. The Cougars will go back to work 3rd and 12 now, backed up all the way to their own 32-yard line. They need to get to their own 44. Dixon to throw. Has to step up as he's forced out of the pocket. Going to stay with the run. Drugged down at the 40-yard line. And that's where he'll be spotted. An 8-yard gain. Not enough for the first down. The Cougars will likely bring out the punt unit here.
We talk a lot about Emery Floyd's running ability. Don't discount Bryce Dixon.
No.
He's had a 50-yard run this season. He's able to get loose a little bit. A little bit short on that one, but that's a young man that's not afraid to put his head down and run, and has had some success doing so.
Dixon, 17 carries, 65 yards coming into the game with a touchdown. The problem Bryce Dixon has had this year, and I think why he's not quite in the starting spot, is he's turned the ball over a little bit too much. A couple of fumbles. One of them lost 3 interceptions this year, and Emery Floyd's just done a better job, but they're both very, very capable quarterbacks. As this one, a good punt from Tony Johnson. It's going to take a really good COC bounce. The Cougars are going to let it roll inside the 20, keep letting it roll all the way inside the 15, and they will stop it at the 13-yard line. Tony Johnson again showing off that right leg. Another really good punt from the All-SoCal Region 4 punter in 2022.
What a luxury it is to just have that in your back pocket that you never want to punt, but when you have to, when the situation dictates, to know that you're going to have a guy come out there and execute like that. Pin your guy back. I already saw him help set up the safety. You already saw him, pin him back a couple times.
So we'll go here 1st and 10 for Antelope Valley back at their own 13. Batted down on the pass. Getting his big paws up that time for COC. It looked like it was big number 44 for the Cougars, R.B. Wilson, the 5th, as he's able to jump up and swat it away. So make it 2nd down here for Antelope Valley. So Rester still in there. The Marauders trailing by 22 at the moment, 29-7. Time starting to run against them here with 12:30 to go. Rester going to roll the pocket to the left, throws on the run, incomplete. It was really between his 2 targets. He couldn't quite get it to either Darrell Lloyd or Tajine Brown, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
College of the Canyons with a clear advantage here. Kind of, the Marauders are going to have to drop back and try and toss one, so you got your, the correct personnel out there. Even with a 3-man front, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Cougars come up with a sack here. Turnover would be tremendous. And you're going forefront here, but again, keeping that pressure on and really trying to close this game out.
Rester stays in the backfield, takes the snap, 3-step drop, gets hit as he throws, pass is caught. It was caught by Rankins. It's going to be short of the first down by a yard, it looks like. And it'll bring up 4th down for Antelope Valley, and it looks like they'll just send the kick unit out once again.
Yeah, this place in the field, you kind of have to. I thought they had a little something. The Cougar defender was right there to meet him with the quick takedown.
So once again, the Cougar defense, a quick 3-play drive for them as they really make it tough on the passing game for Antelope Valley. Rowell back to punt. Royal standing back at his own 45-yard line. Rowell's kick this time, another low one, end over end. Royal going to take it on a fair catch, the 43. And that's where the Cougars will take over, 1st and 10.
You know, and a continued credit to Coach Dan Corbett, defensive coordinator, longtime presence on this coaching staff, a former player, truly knows the Cougar way. And you can just see each and every week the game planning that he puts forth. You know, it's one thing to game plan and to have great players. It's another thing to put them in the right positions to make those plays. He's got a lot of guys out there, and each and every week they come out and make plays for this Cougar defense. You know, Matt, you've really been the carrying point, especially during this, during this 2-game win streak, looking to be 3rd. This is a team that has picked the Cougars up and put them on their back.
Especially in the second half. We talked about 8 points or less so far in every second half this year. They've had a takeaway in 4 of 5. 2 of them today is on the run for COC that time. It was Brooks. Piles had, actually it was not Brooks, pardon me. As it was J.D. Sumlin getting his first carry of the year. Piles up to the 50-yard line. So we'll go 2nd down and 4 from right at midfield for COC. Cougars getting as many different guys into the game as they can right now. As here's Dixon trying to get the edge. Didn't quite get the 1st down marker as he's about a yard short. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 1 here for the Cougars.
And there he was again, not afraid to get it down. Took a little bit of a wallop there near the sideline. Popped back up. He's a tough kid. And this Cougar offense, you know, things have kind of settled down in the stands. The game seemingly in hand. Cougar offense continues to churn out yards. Needs another one here. Keep this thing going.
So 3rd and 1 for COC. Ball spotted at the 47. Dixon going to get a chance to throw. Fires to the outside, incomplete. Intended on the near side for Jacoby Taylor. That stops the clock, and the Cougars are going to go 3 and out here with just a yard shy of a 1st down. Maybe they'll keep the offense on the field, it looks like. Nope, they'll send the punt unit out.
Yeah, I think they thought about it. Maybe run the jumbo package out there, try and get that yard, but no need to try and force that. Give the Marauders any hope to get back in this ball game. And like we talked about time and time again, you've got that weapon back there on your special teams unit. Let's use it. You know, see if you can't pin them back again. Let this defense go to work.
So Tony Johnson back to kick away once again. He's been active today, but he's been very good. This one he muffed, though, right as we talk about how good he's been all day today.
Well, I'm just going to be quiet now.
Yeah. Broadcaster jinx in full effect.
You know, that doesn't take anything away from his abilities, the performance that he's had. You know, every once in a while, those are going to happen. Tony Johnson, Valparaiso, Indiana, out there making a name for himself the 2023 season.
So they spotted at the 32. I think the Cougars got a big break on that one, as that seemed very, very generous. And so Antelope Valley will go back to work on the offensive side of the field. So we'll see the ABC offense back out there once again. As Rester takes the snap, rolls the pocket to his right, throws, caught by Becerra. He's going to get up to the 40-yard line, maybe the 41, so it's a 9-yard gain.
He actually got past Cairo Rhodes, and Cairo Rhodes just reached out and pulled him back. See, showing the strength there. Get out of bounds. That's a nice job. Cairo Rhodes, another one of those guys, hard worker out there on this team out of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
As they'll hand off here, Gardner got a yard, enough for the first down. He wasn't happy though. He pounded his hand. He thought he had a hole and didn't get it.
Yeah, I think that was having trouble seeing that number there, but is that Forte?
Think so.
Forte in on the action, number 18.
So we'll take a break with an injured player down on the field. Antelope Valley trailing 29-7. Actually, no, we'll stay right here as he hops back up, and we'll go back to work. Okay. So it looks like we'll go back to work here. Sorry, trying to fix some lights in the booth. We had some flashing lights, and I have enough trouble seeing as it is, Jesse, so we go back to work. Looked like the player was all right for Antelope Valley. It was 54 for the Marauders, which is Zary Brown. As we'll go back to work here for AVC. Rester to throw, looking over the middle, nearly intercepted, nearly completed, and then dropped by both sides. Pass was intended that time for Rankins, and it falls incomplete. I didn't see whose hands got it first for COC.
I want to say that was 48 again, a little bit of a hot potato ball.
Joshua Lopez.
As we got a hand on it, and then Antelope Valley got a hand on it, and then the ground touched it. So nothing doing there. But one of those exciting plays where the ball's up in the air and it's, hey, who's going to pull it down?
2nd and 10 here for AVC. So here we go, 2nd and 11. Rester to throw at the 40-yard line, rolling to his left. Now just dumps it off underneath. Pass is caught. Looks like it's Lloyd on the reception on the far side. And yeah, it is Darrell Lloyd with the catch. So another 3rd down coming. Antelope Valley needing 2 yards here to try and extend their drive. Bells toll once again here for COC, 8:35 to go. Ball spotted at the COC 49-yard line. Rester in the backfield with Gardner next to him. Takes the snap. No flag on the play. Pass is incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down. I thought there was a false start and an offside and about 3 different things, and the officials just said, no, we're okay, we'll let it play.
Yeah, I think we all were waiting for the call. And nothing coming. So maybe the officials just content to let them play it out here. But a big 4th down coming for the Marauders if they have any hopes of staying in this ball game.
So they're going to go for it here on 4th down. As a run for Gardner, he's got a huge hole, cuts back across the 40, and he's brought down at the 30-yard line. Big run for Caleb Gardner. And don't count AVC out yet. They're going back to work on the offensive side.
Yeah, critical 4th down pickup for them. Joseph Marsh had to chase him down, number 23 on that tackle. And Antelope Valley with like nothing more than to pop one in here, make it a 2-score game. A chance to get the ball back. And that's what we talked about, College of the Canyons. You want to play with confidence, but you don't want to be overly confident. Let the Marauders back in this game.
As Rester backpedaling, he's going to be brought down back at the 42-yard line. R.B. Wilson, the 5th, gets to him.
Yeah, R.B. Wilson there to finish it off, but there was a couple of dudes in pursuit of that ABC quarterback. Nice to see Wilson get his and back up this Marauders team a little bit more. So again, these guys, there's no quit on either side, regardless of what the score is. A lot of pride for these young men out there. And again, this could be your chance to get on tape, get your stats, get seen, as we know that's the most important thing at this level.
So we go here on 2nd and 19, pass complete. Trying to hurdle a defender on the far side. I believe was Lloyd once again. And it's just short of a first down.
Who actually got him?
It's actually Tajin Brown, I think, on the reception.
That'll bring up a third down for the Cougars.
And bring it up 3rd down now. Antelope Valley needing to get to the COC 21-yard line. As the ball spotted at the COC 24. So Antelope Valley needing 2 yards here. They'll fake the handoff. Rester throwing to the end zone. Pass incomplete. Swatted away. Good defense that time on the outside by Andre Bray. And it'll be 4th and 3 for AVC.
Yeah, had a chance to make a play on that ball. Well defended by the Cougars. You know, maybe looking for, sounds like the coaching staff maybe looking for a different route on that one. Or at least a better execution. Marauders had some success the last time on 4th down. Let's see what they dial up here. Got to keep it running if you want to stay in this ball game.
They've converted their only 4th down opportunity of the day so far, so they'll go here on 4th and 2, needing the 22-yard line, or the 21-yard line of COC, so call it 4th and 3, actually, as Rester takes the snap, looking over the middle, pass, incomplete. There's a flag, though, in the middle of the field, in the likely area of a hold or a pass interference on COC, and that is going to give Antelope Valley more than likely a first down.
Yeah, I think definitely going to get them there on the PI. You know, maybe just got the arm up a little bit too much. And so Antelope Valley hanging around, which you never want to see if you're the College of the Canyons.
Number 40, spot foul, first down.
So it's a spot foul on COC. It'll be a first down for Antelope Valley. They're inside the red zone all the way down to the COC 14-yard line here. And we'll go 1st and 10 with 6:49 to go. Antelope Valley knocking on the door. Rester, hands off. Gardner, a nice hole, wrapped up by a couple of guys, brought down by R.B. Wilson, along with some help from, let's see, it might have been Victory Vaca, but I'm trying to get the number correct.
R.B. Wilson on the tackle.
We know for sure R.B. Wilson in there.
Yeah, R.B. Wilson's having a great second half here. In on a ton of those plays.
We got some help from Malachi Hanna actually on the tackle. 45-95 in the numbers. They kind of, the jerseys scrunch up, man. We have some trouble with them. The blue on the gray is tough on my eyes, as you well know. As we go here on 2nd down and 6. Rester takes the snap, looking, going to be pressured out of the pocket, starts to tuck it and run. Now we'll throw it towards the end zone. Nearly intercepted, knocked away. As trying to come away with it for COC that time was Kede Agbalaya able to come away and knock it away. Agbalaya we haven't seen a lot of this year. Just really his first action of the season.
Yeah, getting in there, making a play when it matters the most. I thought Antelope Valley had one there, was able to get that paw in there and swipe it away at the last second.
So we go 3rd and 6 here. And probably 4-down territory for Antelope Valley. You trail by 22. You need 6.
There's no holding back now. You got to get it. You got to get it quickly, and then you got to get it back. And so this is the first step here. You got to punch it in if you want any chance.
They're going to have to take a timeout here as they were taking way too long to get lined up on the field.
Yeah, and those are the types of things that will just infuriate a coaching staff. You're knocking on the door. Time is already an issue. You're forced to burn a timeout when you're no doubt going to have to play, you know, the get-back game. That could cost you.
Yeah, because there's a 3-score game right now. You need 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, a 2-point conversion somewhere mixed in.
Even if you get some sort of onside kick or turnover, you're still going to need those timeouts down the stretch. Anyway, Cougars wearing their grays tonight, Matt, for homecoming. Love to see those. With the This I Promise emblazoned on the front. Sharp-looking unit out there. And a quick shout-out to our equipment staff, Mike Halkovich, Matt Tapia, Nick Carter. Always keeping our boys looking sharp out there. And, you know, that's one of those things. Players of a certain generation get excited with the new threads, and I think this team is no different. They were raring to go with their grays out there tonight.
As we go here on 3rd and 6, Marauders need to get to the 4. Rester to throw. Flush from the pocket once again. Throws towards the end zone, but it's going to be out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. 4 different gray jerseys chasing him down.
I was going to say, I don't even know how you stand and get that pass off. He had 4 just men running after him, trying to get to him. Does a nice job scurrying out of there and getting that ball downfield. And again, you got to try and force the issue.
Looks like Darrell Lloyd down on the far side of the field, and that's not good for Antelope Valley. He's been their most targeted receiver this season. Lloyd over 330 yards on the season, has had 19 receptions coming into today's game. You add up the numbers from today, you look, he's only had 1 catch of 8 yards, so the Cougars have done a good job limiting him on opportunities, but certainly don't like to see him down there.
Yeah, I think that might have just been a cramping issue. I saw the trainer come kind of stretch him out. Fortunately, he's able to walk off. Just certainly not dealing with the heat like we had earlier in the season. But, anytime you're expending energy like that, liable to cramp up.
So another big 4th down here for Antelope Valley. They're 2 for 2 on 4th down. They got help off of 1 from a COC penalty on their last 4th down on this drive. And now they go back to work here on 4th and 6. Needing the 4-yard line of COC. Rester to throw, moves the pocket, pressured, flag in the area of a hold, likely going to be coming back as Rester scrambles to the 10. He's not going to get the line to gain, as he's going to be 3 yards short, as there's a Cougar down back at the 30-yard line after that block. Looks like he's all right. It's R.B. Wilson. He looked like he was maybe just taking a second.
And just a needless crackback block. That was going to be number 74 on Antelope Valley. You saw the white hat throw his hat. Definitely a penalty upcoming here.
And Will Mafu actually down as well. I think the Cougars would likely decline it as they'll get the ball back here on the penalty, as Rester was short of the 1st down by 2 yards.
Yeah, I think so too, unless we'll see what happens here. But Coach Iacenda not happy with that. Looking for the explanation there. And that's one of those frustration plays. You see what the call is here.
Against the offense. Shot block, number 74. Illegal blindside block, number 74.
Wow, they rung him up twice. I definitely saw the blindside block, which again is a point of emphasis across all levels of football.
And the chalk block was on the initial part of the play.
Geez, so he was active on that one. You saw Coach Iacenda run out there with kind of a what the heck look on his face. Nice job by the officials to spot that.
And as we said, COC declining it. They'll just take the ball at their own 7-yard line here, as it was an unconverted 4th down. And so now you send the offense back out of the field, looking to get a little breathing room, as you'll have your heels in the end zone here.
And we talked about it, Matt. That's just one of those frustration plays. You're down. It's late in the ball game. You see someone in your sights, and you come up and make a hit. But just not called for in that situation.
Cam Fouts in at quarterback for COC. He'll give, handoff to Sumlin, who stumbles and falls at the 10-yard line. They'll spot him at the 9. So J.D. Sumlin looked like he had a huge hole on the left side. As he got the edge, he just couldn't do much with it.
Yeah, he did have a little bit of green in front of him. I think just the tripwire might have got him there. And
tripped over the 7-yard line that time.
Unfortunate there. Again, one of those ones that he'll get kidded around in the film session on Monday.
If you've ever played a sport, you've been there. I tripped over the blue line about 1,000 times when I played hockey. As we go back to work here, 2nd down and 9, as they only gave him a yard gain. As they'll hand to Sumlin again. He breaks 1 tackle, got to the 10. So maybe another yard here. And so now 3rd down and 8. But this works in the favor of COC as the clock continues to run. You're up by 22. You're inside of 4:50 to go. Yeah, you don't necessarily want to give the ball back to Antelope Valley, but the longer you take time off the clock, the harder it's going to be for the Marauders to try and make a comeback here.
Yeah, that's absolutely the name of the game. Tick, 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 and see what you can do moving this ball up the field. College of the Canyons in clear control here. Just need to close this one out.
Fouts has the call, walks up to the line of scrimmage, calls out the protection with 9 on the play clock. 2 backs in the backfield with him. He'll send one in motion. Takes the snap. He's going to throw here on third down. Throws over the middle. Was intended for...
I think that was Rivera.
No, Damani Williams. And it was incomplete. So the Cougars getting everybody into the game today. It's good to see. So Williams can't make the catch as it was about 2 feet over his head. Not much more he could have done to try and get up and get it. That'll bring up fourth down. So Tony Johnson, who's been active so far today, will come back in to kick once again. Johnson so far in the punting game, you look 5 punts, 153 yards, averaging 30.6 per punt, as long as 47. He's had 3 inside the 20 so far today. So he'll kick this one away. Antelope Valley sent the pressure. Good, high, booming punt. Fair catch called for at the 50-yard line. And that's where ABC will take it, as is Tajin Brown. And Antelope Valley will get it at the 50 with 4:06 to go, trailing by 22.
Matt, this has been a fun one, action-packed through all 4 quarters of play. Very tight ball game in the first half. Saw the Cougars come away with that safety. Some action down there late in the second half. I think just College of the Canyons came out and took control of this third quarter, really just imposed themselves and built this lead. And from there, it's just, playing mistake-free and executing.
And that's been the difference in the ball game outside of the safety in the second quarter. The Cougars with 20 points in the third quarter. Is a new quarterback in there. Cameron Bailey back to pass, and he's brought down a sack for COC. A bunch of bodies in there. It might have been Ryan Lucero or JoJo Massey. I didn't see who got there first.
Yeah.
They say JoJo Massey?
Yeah, I was going to say 53. JoJo Massey out of Detroit, Michigan, in there making a quick impact. But there was a lot of guys in that backfield, and to have to check into the game and face that, not anything I'd wish on anybody.
That's the first time this year Cameron Bailey's taken a snap, so tough spot there as he takes a sack, as he'll go back to work in the backfield. Takes the snap, looking to throw, throws underneath, almost incomplete or intercepted. Nearly picked off by Joseph Marsh, who's been pretty much everywhere today. And that time, I think that's the second one today Joseph Marsh has had in his hands and couldn't come away with.
Well, I mean, look at the ability there. He's in the backfield. He's chased down a guy across the field, made a tackle. Now you drop him back into coverage, and he almost comes away with the ball. Just a tremendous young man out there, nice defensive talent. And, again, he's going to wish he had that one back, but no shame in that.
As we'll go here, 3rd and 16. Ball spotted at the Antelope Valley 45-yard line. Bailey to throw, pump fakes, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Another sack for COC, and that time it was Matthias Ortiz Jr. doing it all by himself.
Ortiz Jr. having a big game tonight. I don't know how many times we've called his name, but again, it's nice to see this collection, this unit, all getting their names called, all having a chance to star out there.
The Cougars have not allowed a point since the first quarter so far. The defense has shown up from the second quarter on, and that's been the strength this year.
Yeah, again, Coach Dan Corbett has his men ready to go week in and week out. And like I said before, like I said earlier, I think I might have touched him. Maybe not.
Almost did.
But like I said earlier, it's the big plays in the second half that have been the most impressive. Anyone can come out there and catch you off your guard, make a sack in the first quarter, come away with a turnover. It's the down the stretch when you're in control and, keeping the opponent from rising back up out there against you. 3
takeaways today for COC once again. You give them 2 interceptions, you give them a fumble recovery. So you give them 5 interceptions, 6 fumble recoveries on the year. You're talking top 10 in the state in turnovers, 4 defensively now coming into the day. And it's just they find a way on that defensive side to get the ball.
And I think, too, the confidence level that brings when you know that even if you find yourself in a jam or things start slowly, that you have your defense there to pick you up, I think it's going to bode well for the Cougars. Heading into the bye week, you get a chance to kind of settle down, get healthy, reassess what you want to do and where you want to go, which for College of the Canyons, each and every year, our aspiration is to make the state playoffs and contend for a state title. It's way early in the season, but you know that that's the direction the Cougars want to be headed.
Fouts gives to Lopez on first down. Lopez getting his first carry of the ball game. Lopez just his second carry of the season. So stay in there as the feature back at 1:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. 29-7 COC. Fouts to throw, looking downfield, trying for a man, nearly caught one-handed by, I think it was Rivera down that far sideline, or it actually might have been Damani Williams once again. We'll take another look at it, but almost a spectacular highlight play.
Oh, and he had his hand out there. That would have been a highlight reel type of catch. And just too bad, for Cam Fouts as well. Again, he finally has his opportunity.
That was a dime from Fouts to Williams.
Sling one down the sideline.
And to give credit to the cover on the outside that time from Malachi Livingston, he was the man in coverage that time. So we'll go 3rd and 10. Clock stopped at 1:42. Fouts takes the snap. Throws, pass, nearly picked off. Knocked away that time by Bastine as he was able to get in and knock it away from the intended target of Damon Barkus.
Yeah, now a little bit of pushing and shoving down there.
Some chippiness here late.
Yeah, you saw the trash talk there on the pass breakup. A nice play. And the Cougars definitely quick to respond to that. And so now, if you're head coach Ted Iacenda, you just want to get out of here healthy without incident.
That's the punt for Tony Johnson. This one a booming punt once again. It's going to land at the 20-yard line and bounce back towards the Antelope Valley direction, and it'll be down just outside the 20-yard line at the 23. It'll be 1st and 10 for ABC. Well, we have a moment. Player of the game today for COC. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A is Timothy Jackson. Jackson, one tackle, a solo tackle today. He hasn't really had the numbers on the score sheet, but we've called his name a lot. He's been around the ball pretty much all game today.
Yeah, made an impact for sure. A couple of nice plays. Again,
a couple interceptions
second
today.
Half plays that really helped seal this game for College of the Canyons. And again, every week it's someone new, Matt. It's not is it him again? Is it going to be this guy again? These are young men that come out and play with a lot of passion, and it's been rewarded here.
And I should say he had 2 interceptions, one for a pretty big return. So
almost got in.
I can't remember what's going on, obviously, but he's had a pretty good game today.
It's been an action-packed day of festivities and a tremendous game. Real quick, want to just thank everyone that participated in the 2023 College of the Canyons Homecoming Celebration. Had a lot of campus involvement and saw our campus community and our surrounding community come out and support. Always happy to see that. Appreciate everyone.
I'm upset for our big loss. Our door did not win the door decorating contest. The bank takes it back-to-back years. As a pass complete and brought down is Gardner over on the tackle that time for COC. Was Jere Powell getting a chance in the game. So the Cougars getting everybody some action here, and that's good going forward because you never know when you're going to have guys go down with injury. You want to see everybody get a chance here in the game today.
Want everyone to get their reps, everyone to show up on tape, and everyone to feel like they're a part of this victory. Nothing better when you can walk off the field with your teammates knowing you played a role.
Well, that's a huge part for COC. You said get everybody on tape as well. The Cougars always trying to get guys out. That's one of the things that Ted Iacenda and staff pride themselves in. When you look at the numbers, 106 players with all SCFA honors, 21 players with all state honors, but the number that Ted Iacenda will tell you he's the most proud of, 164-year transfers coming into the season.
Yep, get them out, get them to the next level. That's what College of the Canyons is all about, and we'd love to see them shine on Saturdays and on Sundays, as it were, for some of our proud alumni. And this has been a fun one to call. We're going to have a little bit of a layoff before the next home game. But like we said for the Cougars, it does not get any easier in the next 5 games.
One final throw for Antelope Valley over the middle, incomplete. 1 second to go in the ball game, so we will get one more play here. As we said, it's a bye week next week, the 5th week bye week going into week 6. Nobody plays next week. back on the road on the 12th of October against El Camino, and then we'll have another home contest here on the 21st against Antelope Valley. But don't you worry, we got plenty of other sports going on as well. Women's soccer, men's soccer going on as well right now in College of the Canyons, and we'll have them for you here on the Cougar Sports Network. As next week we've got 3 games scheduled. Allen Hancock in town to take on the men's soccer team on Tuesday. Wednesday, volleyball back in action against Santa Monica, and then Bakersfield's women's soccer team down here to take on the COC women's soccer team on Friday. So we hope you join us for those 3. The Cougars take it 29-7. Jesse, final thoughts from you on a nice win from COC, their 3rd in a row.
Hey, go Cougs! Happy homecoming. This I promise, and I feel like we're on a roll here. Let's keep it going.
We'll see you in a couple weeks here for football. We hope you join us next week for the soccer matches and volleyball. Have a good night, everybody. For Jesse Munoz, I'm Matt Robinson, the rest of the crew here on SoCal College Sports and the Cougar Sports Network.